Beware, for I am fearless and therefore powerful. Ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon, this is Modern Escapism. Welcome to the show. My name is Oodles, but you can call me Conquerhead. Joining me today, contestant number 1 hails from northern France and works in the sex industry. Contestant number 1, what is your name?
It's Biggie. Ooh la la.
I'm glad he got that. Contestant number 2 is from the second circle of hell. She has red hair and works on an oil rig. Contestant number 2, reveal yourself.
Hello, my name is Jo, aka Candy, 38-year-old female single, a bubbly personality.
Ready to mingle. And contestant number 3 is wanted by the police as the Yorkshire Ripper and enjoys cucumber sandwiches and dog grooming contests. Number 3, who are you?
Big Daddy Stig.
Daddy Stig. And this episode is brought to you in part from the absent bald fuck Gadget and sponsored by the number 6 and the letter F. How's everyone doing this week?
I'm hungover.
Good.
Yeah, I've had a good
Nice.
one.
The weather's been lovely.
It's been delicious, hasn't it?
Had a productive weekend.
Did anyone see the lights?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as... It's weird because people from my town posted pictures that looked amazing.
Did you see the photos
I
I
looked
sent?
up at I looked up at it, yeah, and I was like, oh. I know, like, cameras make it look a bit better.
Cameras
Even
made
my-
it look a lot better.
Even my pictures from my camera are like, oh, it doesn't look
Yeah,
great.
you've got
Although
you've got an ultra. You should be doing the best pictures.
It wasn't that. It was just what was in the sky wasn't great.
Yeah.
I don't understand how people saw all this green in my
saw
town,
pink.
and all I saw was a bit of purple.
Yep,
Yeah,
pink
I
purple. I
understand.
had to go down to a popular dogging area to try and
Oh,
get
did
rid of
you?
some of the light.
Oh,
Bitches.
it's the same as Stig.
And
I didn't see anything.
while I was there,
Is that why you went down, Candy, in the first place? Is that what you're
Oh,
telling
yeah.
the police?
I had to ask somebody where it was. I didn't know.
Yeah, sure, hon. You not see any in France then, Biggie?
No, I've got a lot of street lamps around my way as well, so I would have had to have walked in a pretty secluded area to go and get a good view. So I just literally...
Well, Candy did.
You went
just
dogging.
Exactly. But no, I just had the same as Stig. I looked up and saw some purpley lights, but that was about it.
He's nice. I mean, I've seen him in real life. That's real life. It's not him in the simulation. I saw him in Canada and stuff.
What are you?
They are beautiful when like you're out in the middle of a prairie looking up. But it's nice to have them around here. They were nice. Obviously, it's pollution. It's nice to see. It's the chemtrails, isn't it? It's the chemtrails. We're all gonna die. But before we die, I'd like to know what's happened this week, because I can imagine nothing's really happened. It's time for Biggie's Breaking News.
You may already know, but he doesn't, because it's time for Biggie's Breaking News.
Well, here's how it started. Heard you on the pod, talking about news, saying all that crap about how we sample. Giving examples. Think we'll get away with that? You criticise our method, or how we make pods. You said it wasn't art, so now we're going to rip you apart. Stop. Check it out, my man. This is the news with Big Up Man. News. We can call it that. But this news retains a new format. Point. Where you misjudged us, speculated, created a fuss. You made the same mistake our listeners have. Talking all that news.
I don't even know what that is.
You should do.
It's Biggie's magnum opus.
What song was that from?
Talking all that jazz by Sonic. That was also remixed at one point. It's a
Just
wicked.
remix there.
It's a very famous track.
They all sound like Salt and Pepper to me.
You'll have to find it,
What
Stig.
listeners don't see is like when Biggie's obviously listening to the intro to the song and he's just bobbing his head around and we're just
Yeah.
sat here like lemons waiting for him to
Waiting.
start.
Waiting for the delay.
Well,
But
if I
delay
tried to
no
do it
longer.
without the music, I'd get criticised because I'm not in time, which is natural. So I'm also not in time when I listen to it.
It's like when your pill kicks in before the band comes on.
Been there before. Next.
So, the news is what we're all here for. This is a big one. Microsoft closes Redfall developer Arcane Austin, Hi-Fi Rush developer Tango Gameworks, and more in devastating cuts at Bethesda. It's also included AlphaDog Games, maker of mobile game Mighty Doom. It's also closing. Roundhouse Studios will also be absorbed by the Elder Scrolls Online developer ZeniMax Online Studios. Microsoft, currently valued at over $3 trillion, did not actually say how many staff will lose their jobs, but more layoffs are inevitable, apparently. With Redfall, disastrous... Oh, sorry, go on.
No, you carry on, sir.
Thank you, I will. It's my fucking news. Redfall, disastrous vampire co-op game, will now not receive the promised updates, including an offline mode and new character DLC. Apparently, they're going to provide a make good offer for those who bought the Hero DLC.
Did anyone who bought that game not just get it refunded?
Yeah, after 2 hours play. Yeah.
Oh, have you done?
No, because you've interrupted me again. I just paused. Pregnant pause.
Oh.
The closure of Tango Gameworks hits just over a year after the launch of Hi-Fi Rush, which I think is quite popular with you guys. Many consider
and many others.
One of the best Xbox games in recent years. In a series of tweets, Arcane Leon Chief Dinga Bakaba hit out at the cuts, calling them absolutely terrible. To any executive reading this, friendly reminder that video games are an entertainment cultural industry, and your business as a corporation is to take care of your artists and entertainers and help them create value for you. He continues saying it's a fucking gut stab. Microsoft also said it needs games like Hi-Fi Rush. The day after killing its studio, Xbox studio leaders described wanting small and prestigious games in a town hall meeting with employees.
The fuck? You literally were proposing a sequel to that game. They had an idea for it, and then the day after they shut it down, they come out and say, "Oh, we want more games like that." You were about to have one. Not only that, but because it's a sequel to a game that's done very well and it's become reviewed very well.
It's not sold very well. That's the problem.
No, like reviews.
Yeah,
like it's done. It has sold pretty well. We discussed this before.
I think ultimately, and people won't like to admit this, I don't think the Game Pass method's working for them.
Doesn't sound like it, does it? Certainly not yet.
People don't like to admit it because it is the greatest deal for gamers that's ever existed, but that deal ain't working for the actual business. Not making any
Do you think
money.
it's a step to consolidating studios as well? Like, I know it's a bullshit thing to do, but do you think, like, for example, Redfall, the people that went to work at Arcane Austin, they probably applied thinking that they were going to work on games like Prey and stuff like that. You know, they come out and say, "Oh, you know, we're making this fucking online
Vampire
looter shooter."
shite.
They lost 70% of their staff before Redfall came out. So most of their talent has hopefully, like, the best you can say for this is that hopefully that they were running a skeleton crew anyway, and hopefully most of the staff that were the individuals that did want to make games like that have gone to Arcane Leon, or they've been kind of dispersed into
Not
other
from the tweet
Bethesda
I
studios.
read by one of the lead developers. He said he went to work one day, there were 200 people in the office. He went to work the next, it was just him.
Yuck.
Well, there's more here. More reporting suggests that long-time employees and even some of the brand's founders agree that things have shifted so dramatically at Xbox since the bad old days that effectively it's no longer Xbox, but Microsoft Gaming. And according to a report from IGN's Ryan McCaffrey, who penned a piece on Microsoft's recent mishaps, Caffrey spoke to two former long-time Xbox employees on the condition of anonymity, who separately lamented the current state of the business, described a situation not unlike an anaconda attempting to ingest an elephant, alleging that Xbox got too big and fast. There is just too much surface area. You have effectively three huge companies at play, and Microsoft never really finished the integration with Bethesda, and Activision is now like 3 times the size Xbox was. The 360 launched with a few hundred people. Last I heard, Xbox now has almost 30,000 people.
I'll tell you what it is. Microsoft, and you can't blame the Xbox execs because it's not them that make these decisions, it's Microsoft ultimately. They said, acquire the competition. So what did they do? They acquired the competition. They now dissolved that competition. And look what's happened. That's what's happened. It really
So do you think that was just an inevitability anyway?
Yep, I think they knew they were. I think this was the plan all along, and they're trying to be the good guys, and there's no good guys in this. Like, I mean, it's the same with Nintendo and Sony. They're just as fucking bad. You can't point the finger at one and not point the finger at the other. But they've clearly tried to monopolise, and it's shot themselves in the foot. Like I said, the surface area is too big. They have fucking, like, it's self-sabotaged. The Xbox brand's fucked. Microsoft's fine.
Do you know what?
Don't get me wrong, Microsoft is fine. I can imagine them repackaging everything and just saying Xbox has gone, Game Pass is a new thing, and Game Pass is just a brand on its own.
Under
Xbox is
Microsoft, like I say, under Microsoft games.
Yeah, Microsoft Games. It's fucked. It's well and truly fucked. And there's so many loyal, especially in America, where it's massive in America. There's so many loyal people that butthurt now over this, and it's disgusting because they're all them jobs as well. It's disgusting, and they've done this to themselves. You can't buy Activision for billions of dollars and expect to accrue money in that same year. You can't. They're in debt once they buy that. And they've fucked it. They have fucked it. I can imagine
they've just gone straight in for the
Activision
cash.
buying them and going, we're having Xbox, we're buying them back.
Yeah, they've gone straight in for the cash grab. What is interesting, though, is like for all, like, it's supposedly in a playable state now, Fallout 76, it's a miracle that wasn't abandoned. And that was due to Pete Hines saying, we'll never abandon a game. He said the same about Redfall. We won't abandon this game.
But they have.
Pete Hines retired, what was it, 3 months ago, 4 months ago? And as soon, now he's
he
gone.
was clearly the lifeline, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned Fallout 76 because there was a fan that nuked Phil Spencer's in-game camp after the Xbox layoffs. An image went viral on Twitter showing a nuclear blast radius on a Fallout 76 map with a vendor owned by P3 in the middle, which is apparently the in-game handle of Spencer.
I am guaranteeing it. Before the end of the summer, Phil Spencer will retire. He has to. He's lied to people. And I know it's not him. I'm not blaming the man. I'm blaming the machine.
Step
He is
down
the front man, though, isn't he?
Step down. He's the front man. So, like a commissioner of a police, when a police case has gone wrong, the commissioner fucking steps down. He's got to step down.
I'm just annoyed about all these fucking mixed messages as well.
Yeah,
like,
so confusing.
I mean, the job losses are fucking terrible.
They're all
happening
horrendous.
all over the industry, and I don't understand why. I mean, I don't understand why, because shareholders over actual artists, but. It's the game industry seems thriving right now. Like, there's
making
billions, loads of games, making shitloads of money, and then you get a mixed message saying you should. So I'm just going to use Hi-Fi Rush as the example.
Yes,
they put that on Xbox Game Pass. 2 million people played
marketed it everywhere.
Like, it was a drop. It said, this game is coming out. You can play this now. Brilliant. 300,000 people bought it on Steam. So for a random indie-ish title to just drop and come out like that, and it had really good reviews, it won awards. They then say, we want more games like that. It's like, well, why didn't you let the sequel happen? Because surely after all the goodwill with the first game, the sequel is more likely to sell better and pull people in. But I do think Game Pass is its own worst enemy, because without Game Pass, that game doesn't get those numbers.
No, it doesn't.
So
surely they're taking a loss on that Game Pass incentive.
Yeah. Well, now it's moved over to PS5 as well. Oh, yeah, PS5, PS4, I guess. It's moved over to that now, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be tribalistic about this, but they're all just as bad as each other at this point in time. It's like the reason that some Japanese studios are still open is because of the fucking honor system that they've got. They're fucking on their asses. A lot of them are absolutely towing on their ass. Some people in core Sony, I was reading it today, first party studios are working with the promise of getting paid in 3 months. Which is fucking disgusting in a first world country.
But at the same time, though, like, we're talking about Game Pass, we've got Hellblade coming out this month. I've seen barely anything, and
because it's going to tank.
Because there's been no advertising. Like, it was one of the biggest when they first
2 hours
announced the
long.
Xbox. Well, I think it will be, but it was was meant to be one of the biggest games when Xbox Series X launched. Hellblade, and it was sort of like it wasn't in-game
Hellblade,
footage.
And Horizon's
Hellblade's not going to tank
Horizon, weren't it?
I don't think it's going to tank in its reviews
critically.
or anything,
No,
not critically. Not critically. No, I'm on about just tank because people have lost. I've seen numerous people on TikTok say, "Right, that's it. I'm done with Xbox now," because they were looking.
I did think
to
about cancelling my Game Pass for a minute.
Yeah,
I'm already paid up to the end of the year. So
I don't mean Stig. By the way, I don't mean going out and smashing their Xboxes on the floor. I mean like done providing them with their hard earned every week, every month. You know what I mean? Because it's where is everything? Where is the things that they're promising now? Is it just a Call of Duty machine now?
I don't know. I mean, I love Game Pass, but I think we've said from the beginning, where does it make money? Hellblade, where does that game's taken 6 years to develop?
Yeah, that's going to cost millions.
But are you getting enough on Game Pass back?
No. Clearly not. There's closing studios, pal.
Right. Are they going to... Do they own them?
Yeah, they own Ninja Theory. Yeah, they own them.
Are we going to see them close Ninja Theory if this doesn't...
This is their last
I hope
game.
not, because that's one of the few British gaming companies.
Yeah. It fucking sucks for people like us that are into this medium, because where's the trust anymore? Because I'll admit, they were the good guys for so long for this generation. You were like, they're fucking doing everything right, even though I didn't own one and Biggie didn't own one.
Yeah.
We were still looking over the fence and going, God, they're doing things right, and I was getting jealous for a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
And now I'm glad I've not invested.
I mean, we're what,
really
5 months in now to the year, and every week there's a story about layoffs.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
There's a story here saying Hellblade 2. It says it releases this month, obviously the 21st of May. However, its release arrives at a rocky period for Xbox, which just shut for Bethesda Studios, including Hi-Fi Rush, Team Tango, etc., etc. Yeah. Perhaps to help boost Hellblade 2 sales, Xbox is reported considering bringing it to PlayStation 5.
Cost the world.
The Verge. Everything's
coming to PlayStation because somehow they're fucking winning. I don't know how, because they're just as fucking bad. It's ridiculous. It's all gone tits up.
But they did
win
say
by the name.
They did say it
they
wasn't
win by the
sustainable.
name, nothing else.
Didn't they? Though they did say Game Pass wasn't sustainable.
The only thing that's going to come out smelling of roses on this is if the Switch 2 gets announced and it's brilliant, and Nintendo are just going to run with it. They're just going to run with it. It's fucking. It's heartbreaking. It's horrible. Like I said from the beginning, I wish they wouldn't buy all them studios, because I think it's ultimately just seedy and nasty and a monopolisation. And look what's happened.
Just on the very quick side, is PlayStation Plus winning in that respect? Because there's only the odd game that gets released day one, so generally it's just titles that have been out for a while and then become free. So I'm guessing
there are more PlayStation.
That's worked.
There seems to be more PlayStation Plus users than Game Pass users, which is fucking baffling.
It is, isn't it?
Baffling. It's weird because I don't have PlayStation Plus.
Well, I do.
I have it for my son. I have it for my son so he can play online. So the bog standard PlayStation Plus. But I don't use it. I don't claim the free games and stuff. It's not a thing I use. It's just, I hope this Netflix model's ending. I really do. Get back to original stuff where you bring a game out, you pay for it.
People don't know about stuff. The problem is the general public don't know about it. Like what Game Pass is.
No, my mate's
case
been
in
Xbox forever.
point,
He's never used
my
Game
mate
Pass.
who plays nothing but FIFA and like sports games.
Yeah,
like the COD and EA's. He's got PlayStation with PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you just got an Xbox, you'd get all that under EA access and stuff. Like, I know that the latest FIFA would take a few months before you got it off.
FIFA 24 is currently on PS Plus, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like you get a lot of stuff through Game Pass, and they just don't realise.
No, I agree. My mate, he's been Xbox for since I've known him, and he doesn't have Game Pass. He's never had it. He's just not bothered. It's just, it fucking sucks, man. And I hate to say I told them so, but who am I? Do you know what I mean? They're not going to listen to me, are they? I never thought it'd last, and I just thought it'd last a bit longer than it has, because this magic's gone, mate. I know. I'm seeming like I'm being hyperbolic about it, but this is a foul taste. It's awful. It's heartbreaking. But yeah, let's move on, because we'll talk about it forever. Next.
Speaking of heartbreaking, EA are apparently amassing the largest Battlefield team in franchise history to double down on the live service multiplayer. They have said, our teams have listened to the community. Fuck me, for once, he didn't say that, but have learned valuable lessons. Have they, fuck? And are driving to the future. Are they really? Said Wilson. Motive, armed with cutting-edge Frostbite technology and compelling storytelling, is joining DICE, Criterion and Ripple Effect to build a Battlefield universe across connected multiplayer and single-player experiences. This is the largest Battlefield team in franchise history.
You excited there, Bigger mate?
No.
I mean, they need to do something because it's going to take a lot of fucking goodwill
Yeah.
to bring people back to Battlefield after.
I'm not
the last one.
excited by this at all until I
Biggie
see
tried his
the
best to like
reviews.
that game, didn't he, for a year?
I did. We were, not just me, my friends did.
Genuinely, I had the best time on Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5 on the PS4 with my friends. And then I just never bothered with this one. I've got PS5. I refused to get PS Plus. I was just like, guys,
Yeah, not doing it.
all you lot do is complain about how shit it is.
But you're
and then
playing it
every now and again you'll come in and go, I've had a bit more time on it. I'm enjoying it. This is good. Then you'll come in and say it's shit.
Kidding themselves.
And every other time you just go back to 5 or 1. So like,
I was talking to my my other mate about this, and he said it was quite poignant actually. He said the golden age of gaming, PS4, for him, because that's when everything was just working. Everyone was just online. Everyone was just having a great time. Banger after banger was coming out. Yes, it wasn't that good on the Xbox side, and Nintendo had the Wii U until the Switch came out. But he said he said it was his golden age, and he's a really he's not a hardcore gamer, whatever you want to call it. He just plays stuff like Battlefield. He said that was the golden age. And he hasn't even bought a next gen console because he knows it's not very good. I've told him about Helldivers and stuff, and you love that, and he's like, yeah, I think it's gone now. I think the magic's gone, and I think that's
that
what's
could be an
happening
age
with
thing, though. I mean, the people that are like
He's younger
between
than
15
me.
and 25 now, people that are 15 to 25 now might look back and say, oh, yeah, PS5 was the golden era. So it might just be looking like when we actually had time to play games with, and like
Yeah,
we
that's
didn't have
true.
to
He's
worry
got
about
kids
taxes.
now. He's got kids.
yeah, well, I
now
had
and stuff.
kids, and like PS4.
Yeah, but you neglected them.
PS4 was like the one of the best times online for me. Like I said,
It's the most
haven't-
time I spent online.
I
with
have
PS4.
not touched PS5. I've not touched my PS5 online. I don't think
I spent
since got
I
it.
spent a full solid year online on Destiny 2, and that's me.
Yeah,
I don't play things online, but I spent a full year. Like every day, I was clocking in on Destiny 2. I was seeing what Xur had to offer. I was doing the gauntlets, however it were called, Gambit, however I can't remember what it were called. I was doing all this. I was we were doing the raids. I was walking around in Egyptian armor, and it was a great time to be online. And I've never felt the need to go back. So I do think I think it's
Speaking of Battlefield, they do go back to the story. They do have to fucking really do something special because Battlefield 2042
release it for free.
It might be what they do.
Trailer.
The trailer looked incredible,
And it wasn't.
like you
Promised
could do this,
so
you could do
much.
this, and it just didn't. I think you're right. I think it's going to be a free to play.
It will, 100%. And you'll be buying your own little characters, and Biggie will be spending fortunes on skins.
If it's good, I'll play it because Battlefield games can be fantastic.
Yeah.
They're such
Absolutely.
a great.
And if
Team
it's
play
free,
game.
someone like me's going to have more of a chance to play it. Because I'll be like, I'll download it.
Like
I
genuinely,
played
when I play-
Fortnite. It's free.
When I play with my friends, sometimes I know obviously you have teams of 4, but sometimes we'd have 8 of us in the PS chat, and we'd have 2 teams of 4, and we could like work together as like 2 separate teams, like to try and do the missions.
Yeah, proper
And
war.
if you've got that, and you've got that community where you actually actively doing something, and you're not just a single player who runs around like a rabbit just shooting whatever and not. Because the whole point of Battlefield is it's not deathmatch, it's doing objectives and pushing forward on the map.
It's a warfare simulator in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, you're pushing to try and capture elements or push a team backwards or
It's
or
not.
stop
As,
them
it's not.
pushing
As,
you.
it's not as fast as Call of Duty when you just drop in and start shooting, is
No,
it?
and you have to work as a team, and if you don't work as a
of
team,
course.
it's amazing when you get loads of you together and you work as a team and you actually achieve the objectives. It's amazing,
Yeah.
but yeah, fucked it on the last game.
When's that due for release? This year?
Doesn't say.
No, I'm imagining if they're working on it, 2026.
It's going to be free. It's going to be free to play.
Yeah.
It's going to be a mobile version.
Well, if it is free, the reason could be is because EA CEO Andrew Wilson says they're looking into ways to put ads into major games.
There you
Didn't he
go.
just say that? Didn't he just say that they listened to fans.
Yeah, fans wanted ads.
Can you imagine if it's like, the Disney Plus ad version where you've got to watch ads before you get to watch your thing? Is it going to be like that? You load your game up and press
Not
start,
a chance.
and
No
then
one
you
will be
get
correct for that.
adverts before you can actually play.
Well,
anything.
it'll be. Do you know what? Do you know how those maps are destructible and stuff? There'll be billboards with like Coca-Cola on, but you won't be able to blow that up because it'll be
That
like,
would, that, I mean,
Let's face it, though,
bother me.
we all bought a couple of cans of Monster when Death Stranding came out.
If
I
it-
did anyway.
I did.
If it's not,
I did.
if it's not intrusive, where it's just like background billboards
that's
and
not it.
advertisements and posters in windows you walk past, fine. If it's literally to the point where, like you said, while you're loading into a game, you get a fucking advert for
Geico
something.
Insurance.
Yeah, like nah, fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that. Let's see what happens there. Next.
Like Amazon. Have you been on Prime?
Yeah, same.
Oh my god, I pay for Prime, and yet halfway through a film or a TV show, I just get you just get a random advert, and they're not put in any decent time either. You could be
Just happens,
watching
doesn't it?
you could just watching the saddest moment in something, and all of a sudden it's a fucking advert.
Yeah,
with blah, just comes up, and you're like, what the fuck?
Me and the wife
See, I haven't
watched.
found it that bad, actually. I normally get an advert
Oh, it's
before I
bad.
start watching a series, and then I can watch like 3-4 episodes without getting
I
anything.
got 2 in watch. I watched an episode of Invincible last night. I had 2 in the
Me and my
Well,
wife-
I wonder
me-
what's
me-
deciding it then.
Me and the wife
Dunno.
were watching because she's never seen the Green Mile, and one of the sad bits advert popped up.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm already paying. We should not be getting adverts in the service we pay for. In the ad-free version, if you want to get the ad-free version, fine.
Yeah.
I mean, not the ad-free, like the version
free,
that doesn't
the
cost
free version that has ads.
ads. Yeah, but you shouldn't be getting ads in one that you already pay for.
That's bullshit. Load of bullshit. Let's see what happens.
It got me by the balls because that next day delivery, man.
Yeah,
Straight
exactly.
Mate, where I live, because there's an Amazon depot here, I get same day delivery. It's brilliant.
Oh, you are.
It's
You are
fucking
treated.
brilliant. It's on the up top of hill as well. Next.
Capcom now considers Dragon's Dogma a key brand following substantial sales. According to the publisher's latest financial report, the action RPG series currently sits alongside the likes of Monster Hunter, Resident Evil, and Street Fighter as pillar property.
It sold, man. It did well. People are still playing it on Twitch and stuff. People are still into it. I mean, I don't know how much they can get out of a 40-hour game. Come on, get over it, guys.
Speaking of Capcom, Kurt's just posted something in our Discord.
Breaking
Rumors
news.
are currently about Resident Evil 9 that Leon S. Kennedy is set to be one of the main characters within
People
the game.
love Leon. I hadn't seen him since 6.
Yeah, so it's about time he came back, I think.
Do you think he's going to have the same hair, or is he going to have a bit of a beard or something to make him look older?
I think he's maybe have a beard and it'll be tied back in a ponytail. With
Ooh,
shit
a
side
man
shit.
bun.
Yeah, Leon's gonna go for a man bun, I reckon.
Yeah. Oh, and he loves drinking pumpkin spice lattes and stuff. Yeah, let's do it. Hipster Leon. Leon's a hipster name anyway. Bring it on.
Like he
Bring it
calls
on.
himself Leon S. Kennedy. That's hipster as fuck. Like to use your middle name.
But use your middle name as just an abbreviation of a middle
Yeah,
name.
just as a letter.
He thinks he's an author, doesn't he? Because authors do that.
Have you seen my book? What is it? J.R. Hartley.
Yeah, exactly. Next.
Marvel Rivals TOS contains a non-disparagement clause to prevent players giving negative reviews. Players and content creators have hit back at Marvel for a playtest terms of service contract that prohibits players from making statements that are detrimental to the reputation of the game. As shared by a former professional esports player and Twitch streamer, Brandon the contract signs away your right to negatively review the game. Apparently in section
That's
2.1
fucking
of the
mental.
agreement, subtitled non-disparagement, content creators are obliged to agree not to make any public statements or engage in discussions that are detrimental to the reputation of the game. This is
That
more
is insane.
legal.
I-
stuff.
The amount of times
haven't-
we've been sent codes and we've gone, it's shit, this.
I have a theory about like why. So when you have a film and you have a test screener, you ask the audience what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to go out and say, "Do not go see this film; it's shit."
Yeah.
Is that not the same with this? Are they not play testing it to say to go through and go, "This
But
doesn't
that-
work"?
that
This
is
There
a
works.
is a bit more
non-disclosure
to
agreement.
this. There is a bit more to this.
Oh.
Yeah.
So In a statement posted in its Discord shortly after the contract began to make headlines, the Marvel Rivals content creator team said it sincerely apologised for the miscommunication and your unpleasant experiences. They went on to say, "We are aware that there are inappropriate and misleading terms in the commitment regarding sharing non-disparagement content," the full statement said. "We sincerely apology," that's exactly how they said it, "for the miscommunication and our unpleasant experiences. Our stand is absolutely open for both suggestions and criticisms to improve our game. And our mission is to make Marvel Rivals better, satisfy players by those constructive suggestions."
Is English their second language?
It looks like it. It's a very weird statement.
Yeah, I think the guys that were doing it are Asian territory. So, I think they're only sorry because they got caught. Fucking load of shite. Marvel Rivals, whatever that is. Who cares? Next.
Is that new free to play like
Shooter, in it?
what they called PvP?
Like the last Suicide Squad game. That was
An
right.
Overwatch.
No. It's like this is like a
Overwatch.
Destiny.
Overwatch.
Overwatch, yeah.
Overwatch.
Yeah.
Valorant.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Which it looked fine. It looked good. It's just a weird thing to ask people to.
Don't say it's shit. Next.
We've had a first look at David Corenswet as Superman. Do you see that picture?
Noodles.
No, I ain't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Oh.
No,
Have you not seen it?
I don't look.
Right. So this is
You better be fit. Let me have a look.
the first look at him as Superman. He's kind of getting ready in a hotel room, or he's in his apartment by the looks of it, while something is attacking the city by the looks of it in the background.
He seems unbothered, doesn't he?
It seems very much like a for fuck's sake, not again image, doesn't it? Like he's like back to work, I guess. But
Get my socks on.
obviously, the Snyder Bros are just shitting all over it, which they were going to do regardless. Whatever fucking image came out.
What's a Google for it?
Superman David Corenswet. Just put that in, you'll see it.
David
And this is
Corenswet.
from what I understand, a Superman 52 is the look that they've taken this from, with the high collar and the
New 52.
new.
Oh,
Yeah,
look
I
at
think he looks good, and that he's got that
Hello.
little curl going on, the Superman curl. Like, it's just a weird shot. It's a weird shot to have him like just kind of putting his boots on while something's attacking the city, and it.
Well, we know what's attacking the city there.
Well, I thought it
That's
was
Brainiac.
Brainiac, but Brainiac hasn't been confirmed for this film, so
It's definitely Brainiac. He's gorgeous.
he's massive as well. There's if you
Yeah,
look
he'll
at the picture of him in the gym, he's put on the bulk.
Yeah, he'll do.
But yeah,
He'll do.
he's obviously, you know what they're like.
It's
It's a
helmed
downgrade.
by,
He's shit. He's got the trunks
thingy.
back on at least.
It's-
Trunks are back on.
It's helmed by Thingy, so I trust him.
James
What's his
Gunn.
name? James Gunn. I trust it. He doesn't do shit. James Gunn.
He
does
hasn't done a shit superhero thing for me. Guardians,
No.
Suicide
No, he
Squad, and Peacemaker.
Yeah, they're all good. So I trust him, and he'll be pulpy because he loves a bit of pulp, doesn't he? That's why he's got his trunks back on.
He's also someone who
yeah.
actually
Do you think
likes
Superman
the character.
has sometimes sat on his cape when he sits down? He's like, ah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Has a little strangle
Yes.
wank.
he often gets grabbed by the cape in the comics, and it's like, get rid of the cape.
Well, that was the thing. That was the thing in Watchmen as well, wasn't it? One of the first Watchmen got stuck
Yeah,
in
got
a
stuck
revolving
in the
door.
door.
with
She
his
knows
cape.
in The Incredibles.
No capes.
No capes. Like, because
Exactly.
killed.
Yeah,
I think
You
he
get
looks
your
fine.
killing.
I think it's
Look
a
good,
bit.
though.
The suit looks a bit like awkward in places, but I'd like to see it in him stood up in it rather than it being all like bunched up in
I
areas.
hope we don't get a origin.
It's not an
story.
origin.
We do not need
It's
a
not an
Superman
origin.
one.
Actually,
Good. Let's just have Clark Kent working at the
so
Daily Planet.
I'm pretty sure
He's already working
he
there,
said
look.
it's not an origin story, but his dad is in this, so it might be some kind of alternative like version.
His dad
But his
supposed to
dad
be in it.
dies, doesn't he? Like when he's younger.
Not
So-
originally. Only in
So
the
that's kind
films.
of what he's. Yeah, it's going to be a different take on Superman, which is
Yeah.
fine. But I trust James Gunn to know more about the character than Zack Snyder did. So
Me too. Bring it on. I think he looks great. I mean, there's a look for Superman, isn't it? And he's got it.
Yeah, it makes me laugh when people going, "Oh, why did you get rid of Henry Cavill to replace him with someone that looks exactly the same?" I went, that's just Superman. Put them on. Put
all the
put them
Supermen
all next
have
to each
looked
other.
the
They're all
same.
6 foot to 6'4" and look the same. That's
They've all looked the
Superman.
same.
How you've cast somebody that looks like Superman in the Superman film? What a shock!
How dare you?
Peter Dinklage is Superman.
I'd be into it.
Yeah.
Next.
There's been a few announcements around Fantastic Four. Yeah, got John Malkovich has been cast, but in an unknown role. And Ralph Ineson has been cast as Galactus, but hopefully he won't be using that Scouse accent.
He's
or Brummie accent.
Yorkshire
Or
accent.
Yorkshire. I don't know. I don't know where he's from.
Fucking
Fuck
hell,
me,
fire.
He sounds like you lot.
yeah,
all
and we're
combined
from
into one.
Yorkshire.
Fuck me.
Man reckons he supports
I don't
Liverpool. He
know.
can't even tell Scouse accent between that and a Yorkshire accent.
He's never been, that's why.
I've been to Anfield, thank you.
What Flight Simulator flew over it.
There it is. He was at Anfield. He thought he were at fucking Everton's Park. He's at Everton's Park going, this is quite blue. It's quite blue for Anfield. This.
He's from Leeds.
I don't know.
Mate, he talks like that.
Rough Yorkshire accent. I'm Galactus. I'm
Bloody
gonna fucking
hellfire.
eat your planet, you bastard.
He's great as Sidolphus in Final Fantasy 16, isn't he, Candy?
Oh, yeah.
I wonder what.
He goes, Clive, get your ass down
I
here now.
wonder what kind of fucking voice
He's not going to do that like Galactus, though, is he?
Galactus, Herald, go get that planet for me
You're
now.
at Worlds.
Come here,
I'd
you
be into
bastard.
You're at Worlds.
Think you sent to this planet.
I'm fucking
I'm
hungry.
off down to Earth to gobble up a few planets.
I've heard they've got great nice black sheep brewery down there. I'll take it, mate. There's no scarier than a
The funny
pissed
thing is,
Yorkshireman.
he's in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's one of the Ravengers. So people are going,
He
he's
is,
been
he
there
is,
all
he is.
along, just there in
First
the
one.
background.
Yeah, do it. Fuck it. Oh, I'm so excited for this Fantastic Four. I just think it's going to do everything that I've always hoped and dreamed for. But then I've been hurt before, haven't I? Many times.
Who do you think Malkovich might play? If it's like
Puppeteer.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
There you go. Every time I say it, everyone goes, oh, yeah. Everyone does the same thing because he's got puppeteer look.
Yeah.
He's got the puppeteer sinister, but he's also got the Malkovich, I can pretend not to be insane.
yeah. Yeah, I can see that working.
And Mr. Fantastic and Puppeteer go a long way. And I think I said in our Discord, it'd be a good introduction to the family battle at the beginning of the film, and you know what I mean? Not have him as the main villain, just have him popping in and out.
I really hope Galactus isn't just wasted on this one film. I hope it's one of those ones where, I think we've said it before, where they have to kind of trap him somewhere and they'll have to deal with him later down the line. Because you can't really waste Galactus on one fucking film.
What this, and if they were smart, and people will moan about it, but it'll pay off. Do the Thanos thing. Talk about him. Make out he's coming. Show him at the end of every film leading up to his ultimate.
But he's not going to be like the
appearance, you know
main
what I
bad
mean?
guys, is he? The talk obviously there was Kang, and there's talk now that Doom is
Yeah.
going to be that kind of overarching villain, which
Doctor Doom could do. No, but Doctor Doom can
but
summon
this is
Galactus.
fine. That's what I mean.
He's
But
done that
I'm happy
before.
for them to defeat Galactus if it's obvious that they haven't killed him and he's there.
Yes.
He
just cast him
is
off.
going to be a present threat that they're always worried that.
And that's why I say they should set this in the 70s.
Oh, it's gonna be set in the
70s. Time means they have to pop up into the current world of the MCU because of time and the Time Variance Agency. And we have to get rid of Galactus, so we'll go into this pocket dimension for years and years. We won't age, though, and we'll pop out.
Yeah,
Galactus
it's
has got free.
it is set in the 60s. You can tell just from the promos from that.
Fantastic.
So
I don't want to be let down again. They're my favourite comic books of all time. Fantastic Four. Two of my favourite characters of all time are in that universe.
I think it'll be
it'll
fine.
I can't. I mean, I'll accept an 8 out of 10. You know what I mean? I'm not expecting fucking Infinity War straight away. I'm not expecting like a game changer like the Citizen Kane of fucking superhero films. I'm just expecting competence. That's all. That's all I want. That's all I want. Next.
Speaking of MCU, Jeremy Renner was apparently clinically dead following his snow plow accident in 2023.
Fuck.
Michael Beach says Renner's heart stopped beating and he broke 38 bones. He's recovered well, though, isn't he?
Okay, I can't.
He's looking good
That's
now.
incredible that he survived.
He's looking good now, isn't he? After all that.
Yeah.
Fucking actual. Who knew that the hardest Avenger would be Hawkeye? Who knew?
Yeah. Lucky bastard.
Do yourself a favour as well and watch the Hawkeye series.
Yeah,
it's really good.
best,
If you've
one
not
of the best
seen
ones
that.
they've done.
Watch the
Best
interview with him about the accident as well.
Yeah,
really
it's
interesting.
fucking powerful. I've got a lot of respect for Jeremy Renner. He knew what he was getting into when he stepped into that role. He knew that he was going to be the butt of the jokes, and he's come out of it better, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's one of the OGs. Love him. Next.
Don't know how you guys feel about this. The new Lord of the Rings film has been titled The Hunt for Gollum. Andy Serkis will
Hate
direct and star as Gollum, and Peter Jackson will be on board to produce.
Do you want to know why I hate this?
Yeah.
Because it's
takers?
new material.
Because it's new material. It's not from the Tolkien estate.
Is
What a waste of fucking time when you've got the Silmarillion
Isn't
sat
it
there.
technically part of when Gandalf goes away between when he takes the ring? It's all
Yes.
meant to be set then, so
It's meant to be set in the
yes, obviously in the
15
film
years.
Lord of the Rings, it looks like he's only away for about a week, whereas in reality, it's set like
3 days.
Yeah, like you say, it's like 15
Yes.
years or something, isn't it? And the whole plot is
Yeah.
he meets up with Aragorn and he sets him on a quest to find Gollum because he has a
He does. He does.
he
Aragorn
has a
does
suspicion about where the ring's gone, and it's that helps Gandalf figure out what it is.
I mean, it also explains why the next time you see Bilbo, he's aged 25 years.
However, nah, like I'm excited to see more Lord of the Rings. Yes, I'm one of the people that actually like the Rings of Power. I know that it gets a lot of fucking flack and gets
I like the Rings
a
of
lot.
Power. But do you like
I
the
do
Hobbit
not like
films?
the Hobbit films, and this film is set to
Exactly.
come out in
okay with
2026. And Peter Jackson said one of the problems he had with the Hobbit films was that it was such a fast production that was one of the reasons why it wasn't as good as what he hoped it would be, because they wanted it because he
dragged the fucking thing
yeah,
out
but
and
he
made
stepped
shit
in,
up.
didn't he, to take over it. It was originally meant to be Del Toro, and then he stepped in, and they wanted it out quicker than he really needed. He needed more time on it, really.
That's why it's so CGI
And-
heavy, isn't it?
I'm worried that that's going to be the case again. They haven't even started the script, and this film's meant to come out in a year and a half.
I don't know about you guys, but another thing about these things, like the Rings of Power, was interesting to me because it's like 1,000 years before the Lord of the Rings. But like this, no drama can actually happen. We know Gollum survived. We know there's no stakes to it. Like the Rings of Power, the Rings of Power is good because a lot of people that have not read the books, Silmarillion and Children of Hurin and stuff like that, and Forgotten Tales, they don't know how like Sauron came to be or Melkor died, anything like that. They don't know the fall of Numenor, and it's nice to get that. But with this, it's like even in the books, even in the appendices, it's like a paragraph that Aragorn hunted for Gollum, finally caught him, got some chatter out of him. It's a nothing.
It's
bit.
also like I say, how does this end? With what? With Gollum walking away?
It ends with Gollum going back into the fucking Misty Mountains.
Genuinely, this is my problem. And I actually was speaking to mother-in-law's partner about this today about prequels, and that's one of the biggest problems is when you know how something finishes, there's no fucking stakes, there's no tension. We know that if they catch Gollum in this, we know exactly what all this film leads to. This is just filling in a random part of.
This is why
Stuff
people
that
were
means
pissed
nothing.
off with Episode 1, Phantom Menace, is because all we cared about in those prequels was how Anakin became Darth Vader. Instead, we got political blockades and stuff like that. Just chaff in between. It doesn't work. You can't trick smart viewers into making this like, oh, will Gollum survive? Yeah, he will. Ultimately, he will.
Prefer stories from thousands of years ago, like you said. Is it Morgoth and all that?
Yeah, Silmarillion and stuff. Morgoth, yeah.
I'd love to see a film with that big fuck-off dragon that's the size of a mountain. All that kind of stuff. The massive spider. I can't remember.
Ungoliant.
I'd love to see all of that kind of stuff and be fielding on that. Or, if you can get the rights and you can be brave enough and find a good enough writer, tell us something after Lord of the Rings.
He has done a lot of after appendices. A lot. Like we know who became the next king of Gondor after Aragorn, his son, by the way. We know his son's son. Do you know what I mean? We know what happened in the fourth age. We know this.
Yeah,
you could
exactly.
adapt that.
I just cannot, in my mind, look at that and go, all of those dark forces suddenly went, oh shit, like Sauron's not around anymore. What do we do? Like there would be somebody who would like, right.
And Tolkien had people. I'm not going to spoil who in case they do go into, but he has people for that. He has new dark entities that are going to try and take over Middle Earth. He's got the expanded world of Arda itself, which is not just Middle Earth. Middle Earth's just a continent. You know
Would it
what I
look
mean?
great? Probably.
Wild.
Gollum's a great character.
Andy Serkis is good.
It's great as Gollum. It'd be nice to get Gollum in modern day CGI because as amazing as those films look cinematography wise, Gollum is ropey as fuck.
Especially when he's in the daylight.
You get like the score will be great, the cinematography will be great. I think everything will be great. It's just a story I just don't care about.
Yeah, I couldn't give a fuck, man. It's a non-story. It's like doing a story about Samwise before he eavesdropped for the first time.
It's like doing a story about Samwise when he got back to the Shire and what happened in that.
Yeah, when he
wrote that like
book.
part at the end of the book, the epilogue at the end of the film.
Yeah.
What did Samwise do for let's have a 2-hour film about what he did.
Fuck all, shag.
Yeah,
he just
about
shagged,
meeting his wife and having a wedding and writing the book. It's like.
I tell you one good thing though. One good thing that could happen with this, because in the appendices, Aragorn used the help of Tom Bombadil to find Gollum, and Tom Bombadil could be played
Matt Berry.
Matt Berry, exactly. That's what could make me go to the cinema to see
the other
this.
thing as well. Does this what have Ian McKellen? It won't have Viggo Mortensen. Because they're just too old. And even if you kind of de-age them, you're going to de-age them for the full film
or digitalise them.
Then Viggo Mortensen's in his 60s now. Ian McKellen's in his 80s.
You can get away with having someone that looks like him younger, because he was a younger Strider at that time. We keep calling him Aragorn. He was called Strider at that point.
But do you not remember?
You can have a younger Strider.
Yeah, it's people going, oh well, that's not my Gandalf. That's not my Aragorn.
It's not my Lord of the Rings, but it's coming out, isn't it?
Like if you remember The Irishman, Robert De Niro, like they managed to make him look younger, but the way he moved was like a near 8-year-old man. He looked so clunky. It's like
and Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones as well.
Yeah. There's more to like feeling younger than just looking younger. Like it's the crumbly old voice. And everything.
Do you know what they'll do as well? They'll do what they did with the Hobbits as well, which is fucking bullshit. Where Legolas turns up. It's like fucking bullshit. Absolute bullshit. We've got to get Orlando Bloom back in.
This will have that, and
it
will cover, I guarantee it will cover the love story between him and Arwen.
Yeah.
It'll fill that gap in. Fill that gap in there. Who else can we throw in to just remember them? Don't know. But
exactly. Saruman. But it's just completely CGI.
Yeah.
It's fucking bullshit, mate. It's fucking shite. We'll have a moment where Strider walks past a grumpy dwarf and it'll be Gimli. Oh, fucking what a load of shite. Next, before I get angrier.
Wednesday seems to be peaking as confirmed the cast of Billy Piper for season 2 as 3 original stars exit the series. The long-awaited second season of Netflix hit started filming in Ireland, with the streamer confirming the news that with a teaser and a new cast additions. Also joining the series is For Me Once's Joanna Lumley, original Addams Family star Christopher Lloyd, the The Kaminsky Method's Haley Joel Osment. Law and Order's... What a weird choice to put that. You should have put 6 cents.
He was in The Boys, wasn't he?
Yeah. Law and Order's Noah Taylor. Return to Silent Hill's Evie Templeton. Handmaid's Tale's Owen Painter. Scream's Heather Matarazzo. And Star Wars Junus Suotamo.
I mean, you did say "Fool Me Once" as Joanna Lumley, not absolute fucking legend Joanna Lumley.
It's such a
Fool
weird...
me once, Joanna Lumley. That's the thing that you're going to pull out for Joanna Lumley.
Absolutely fabulous. Fucking hell, it's ridiculous. But
I wonder what
I've never
Christopher Lloyd's going to do, because he's not doing, like, as far as I know,
Can
he's
he not
not
be
doing
Fester?
so well. Well, no, because we've already got a Fester. It's Fred
I've never
Armisen,
seen
wasn't
when.
it?
I've
Yeah,
never seen Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
Fred
because
Armisen's
Christina
Fester.
Ricci played a part in it as well, didn't she? As one of the teachers.
Oh, and she was
Yeah.
Wednesday originally. Is it going to have the main girl in it still?
Jenna Ortega, yeah.
They got ravaged by Martin Freeman
Yeah.
over a month in that film. Did you see that
No,
film?
but I heard about it.
No,
Yeah.
I've heard about it.
It's got fucking ravaged.
I mean, the stars that are going are kind of. I'm going to be mean. They're nobodies, really.
yeah,
The
nobody.
young stars who, you might see them in a few years' time and other things, but I don't think they're going to change the dynamic of the show too much.
Was it good?
I only
Wednesday?
watched
Is
the
it
first
worth a watch?
episode, and then I was going to watch, and then
Not so.
Amelia just ploughed ahead with it on her own, and I was like, I just couldn't be bothered after that. But she
I think
she loves it.
She's the
She
audience
absolutely
for
loves it.
sure.
And she was like, when season 2 came out, I was like, probably not for another 2 years. And she was like, what? Like, she was absolutely fuming that it was.
It's great for, like, young teenage girls or sort of older kids.
Are
and
you?
And people of my mental capacity, yeah. Perfect.
Only thing I've seen of it is that dance that she does that got really famous.
Oh, yeah, TikTok. They knew what they were doing,
Yeah,
didn't they,
big
with
time.
TikTok?
Yeah, it's made her dancing, doing the Jack Rabbit Slim dancing and stuff like that. Fuck knows. God, I've never seen it. I never will. Next.
The new The Office series that's been picked up by Peacock has had a few more reveals, a few more details revealed. The new show will take place in the same universe as the popular mockumentary series, but it's not actually set in Dunder Mifflin. Instead, it'll be covering a paper company in Scranton. Which is the same. Instead of covering a paper company in Scranton, the team will observe a dying historic Midwestern newspaper and the publisher trying to revive it with volunteer reporters. So again, it's
Like
all about the
Afterlife.
writing and the
So
acting.
it's not really The Office, is it? It's a completely different show that
Nope.
they're just
it's just
sticking
a
The
new
Office
thing.
on top of it.
And every so often, Phyllis will turn up
Yeah,
knitting.
they could have called.
It's Gervais producing it.
I don't know.
Probably
But
not.
I don't understand. They
Doesn't
could have
say.
done the whole like mockumentary thing. Just give it a different name, like Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec did it
Different
but
name.
under a different name.
Yeah, which is Greg Daniels, isn't it? He's
Yeah,
the man that does
but
it.
It's not The Office. It will last 1 or 2 series.
Yeah, they didn't call Parks and Rec The Office outdoors.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't understand why. If they just said it,
Why couldn't
if they
just
just
call
said it
something else?
in a different, say, Dunder Mifflin office somewhere else in the country, then
Then it would be the
and
same
linked
thing.
it slightly with what with the old office and had a few cameos and stuff like this. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah,
you
maybe
can call
the
it the
odd- the
office,
odd
but this is
character.
just it's literally setting it in a completely different environment in a completely different place. And what makes it the office other than it being a mockumentary?
Dwight's not going to turn up.
Yeah, it's
Do
just
you know what I mean?
it's just using the name to try and sell it. I'm saying it now. It won't go past 2 series.
No, it won't. that was. I mean, The Office is obvious. The next thing was Parks and Recs, and it worked. And I'm just ready for the next whatever Greg Daniels is doing prior to that.
Yeah, I'll watch it if it's
post
good
that,
and it's
you
got
know
the
what I
same
mean?
kind of writing and comedy.
Mm.
Yeah, it might be
I
fucking
just
amazing.
think calling it The Office sets it up to fail. If
Yeah, I agree.
I think they're going to use the same theme tune as well.
what like House of Dragon did.
Yeah. Ooh,
I hated
like
that
that they did that.
they used the same theme tune.
yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like.
It's
that
like this
at
is your
all.
chance to create a new epic theme tune. No.
Yeah. No, we're doing the same one. Ugh. Next.
Apparently, FX is looking to make a season 2 of Shogun. Hiroyuki Sanada is close to sorting a deal to return. It's banging that. Really enjoyed
So
it.
I finished that this week. I had a
Me
few
too.
weeks behind on it, and I finished it this week. It
Yeah.
finishes the whole book, but it leaves it open for doing a sequel.
I finished the book about 3 weeks ago, and I've still not gone back to the show.
You should
I'm
do.
about four episodes.
The last
I love the books. I will
Episodes
do
8,
it.
9, and 10 are incredible, especially 8 and 9.
Yeah.
If it's the book ends better than it starts.
The show does as well, and they do. From what I've read,
Yeah, that's good.
the way that they explain Toranaga's like inner thoughts it's really well done. How that what he thinks at the end.
Yeah.
He talks to a certain character and they visualize it, and it's
just lately I've not been able to watch out.
that's the thing.
I
That's
can't
why it took
focus.
me ages to try to finish it off, because it was like, right, I need to find a time where I can sit and watch it for an hour.
Bear in mind as well, when I watch things I have to read, I have to sit up
Yeah.
at my desk because my screen's not big enough.
You need to get a bloody HDMI cable and plug it into your monitor.
I don't move my laptop.
Right. Where's your monitor?
Right in front of me.
So you
now,
don't
next
move
to
your
my
laptop. So get a HDMI cable, plug it from your laptop into your monitor, and then you can watch it on your monitor.
Well, my monitor's got my PlayStation in it. I've just
There
there
is no
This
way
is
that
why I
your
said I
monitor
have
only
to
has
sit up
one
at my desk,
HDMI
'cause
port in it. So there
it
you go.
doesn't. What I'm saying, I'm using I do use my monitor. I'm just saying, when I'm laid on my bed, it's too small to read the writing. So I have to sit up on my desk. That's what
better
I'm
eyes.
saying. I've got glasses on.
Our super natty
Treat
cat to
yourself
sort
to a
you
bigger,
out.
treat yourself to a bigger monitor, bigger TV.
I've just bought a
Exactly.
fucking house.
Treat yourself to a bigger monitor for your new house.
Fucking hell.
When you make your man cave and get all your RGBs up and running.
I'm not making a
You are.
man cave.
Yeah, you are.
Aw.
I'm not. I've got an
Oh,
office.
go on. I'll do it
An
for you.
office.
I'll make
It's
you
an
one.
There you go.
office.
Can they
I've
all
got
come and
one,
make
it's
you a
an
man
office.
cave?
I don't
No,
want her
you
lights
actually
near
do
my
Elden
house.
Ring stuff everywhere. You'll have mechs.
I'll do
Mechs
whatever
on the
you
wall.
want.
Yeah, you do.
You're sweet.
I don't want that.
You do.
I want this behind me. I want no more nails
The
and some
shit shelf.
posters.
The shit shelf. And
It's not a shit shelf. It's got some good Gundams on there. and
yeah,
Reverend
you
Run.
see those pictures
and
behind you.
Geralt.
Imagine that blown up on your wall.
Nope. Nope.
Just no.
Not happening. I
I
don't
can
want
have it
to
glow in the
surprise.
dark.
I like Biggie's office. It's like mine. Just ramshackle.
Shit.
It's rude, that, isn't it, Biggie?
Very rude. Sorry, we haven't got a mansion that we can deck out for a man
Oh.
cave and a book cave.
Kids, get out of Daddy's West Wing.
Yeah.
Get out.
Oh.
Go back into the foyer. Go back into the foyer. Oh, you fucking prick. Next.
Jeff Bridges has been cast as Grendel in Grendel the movie, which will tell his side of the story about his rivalry with
Grendel,
Beowulf.
the movie. Such a bad name.
Dave Bautista will star as Beowulf alongside Bryan Cranston and Sam Elliott.
Great cast. This'll flop.
Yeah. Like every single other
Yeah.
Beowulf adaptation. it's. I always find it weird that people are obsessed with adapting a poem. I don't know. I've always found it very weird that they're obsessed with it. Because remember the Ray Winston Beowulf?
Yeah.
I'm Beowulf.
I'm here to kill your monster.
I'm here to kill your monster. It's fucking shit. It's got Angelina Jolie as Grendel's
Yeah.
mother.
Is she like a serpent or something?
Yeah. She wasn't named in the poem either, and they tried to give her a name in this. I can't remember what it was.
Mrs. Grendel.
Mrs.
Senior.
Grendel to you. But the poem itself is great. It's a good epic because it's, again, when I say a poem, it's not just a verse. It's a book poem. It's an epic poem. It's like a little novella. But they're obsessed with it, aren't they? I think it's because it's public domain. It's free. There's no actual author to it. No one knows the name of the author. So it's just free reign, isn't it? We could do a Grendel film. Let's do it. Biggie is.
That film had all right. It
Oh, I
just
want
says
to be
Grendel's mother, to be fair.
Yeah, she does. Oh, does she? I'm sure
That
they
film
tried to give her
had Ray Winston, Anthony Hopkins, Kristen Glover, Robin Wright, John Malkovich,
know.
Angelina Jolie, Brendan Gleeson. It had a young
It was
Alan
mental.
Richardson in it. John Wick himself, not John Wick, John Reacher. Yeah,
John Reacher.
Jack Reacher,
Jack
fucking
Reacher.
hell. You know what I meant. You know what I meant. I know you knew what I meant. You know what I meant.
I did, because he's gorgeous. Him, but yeah, it's just I don't know. I won't be. I mean, cinema guy might go and see it, but I won't be rushing to see a Grendel the movie.
I don't think I will, unless it gets
I'm just not-
amazing reviews.
Is it A24 that are doing it? If A24 are doing it, I'm watching it.
Speaking of A24, I know it's not in the
Well,
news here,
probably
but
not.
apparently Steven Spielberg's going to be working with them.
Oh,
know.
fuck it, let's go. Let's get some Nazis involved as well. Or a shark. Let's go.
Shark Nazis.
No, I'm thinking Jaws, but from Jaws.
I like when you said shark Nazis and Candy's eyes like just pricked up there. Oh yeah. That is a Candy
Write that one
film.
down.
What, like Nazis running around with like stormtrooper hats on? And
Armbands,
SS
Nazi
uniforms.
armbands on the fins.
Fins.
Armbands on the fins.
Yeah. Finn step
And
in.
they're all floating in water going, 9, 9, 9. And they're coming to get all the kids. But they don't bite the blonde-haired, blue-eyed kids. Funny, these Nazis. These Nazi
There is
sharks.
there is a film
I
called
think-
Sky.
Pattern that, Candy, because I
There's a
think
film
there's
called Sky Sharks, which
Go
is Nazis riding flying sharks.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's
You look it
fucking
up
go.
on Google. There's like a
fucking
zombie
go.
Nazi with 2 guns, it's like on a shark, which has
What was
Gatling
that?
guns strapped to
What
its
was
side.
that?
Oh, sweet.
What was that Nazi film where they had a base on the moon? Can you remember that?
Oh yeah.
Did you ever watch it? It was a B movie, but it was pretty decent. And the Nazis
Iron
had a base
Sky.
on the moon, and they were all like super Iron Sky.
Yeah,
it was
that's
really good. It was really
That
fucking good. It
actually
was so
was
B
good.
movie. Yeah, it was so good. Biggie, it's not like a
Wasn't
game-changer,
wasn't
it's
it
just
like
good for what it was.
that the Nazis had gone up to the moon and hid up there and created this? They
And
created a secret base up there, ready to launch.
Yeah, an
Yeah,
Aryan utopia
ready
on
to
the
launch
moon.
like an attack when they were. Yeah.
Yeah, like Dr. Evil. Watch Iron Sky. That's your homework for today, listeners. Next.
We're over to our new feature, Oodles Mobile Hour. And I think you're covering the Nokia 320, which is the latest reimagined retro feature phone, I believe.
Yeah, I got hands-on with the Nokia 3210. 3220, sorry. Whatever it is.
3210.
It's a reimagining. It's a reimagining of the classic that we all love, the one with Snake on it. And I got my hands on it, and they've announced it for. It's going to be like 70 odd quid. Do you know what? It's going to be my new burner. It's brilliant. It's fucking brilliant. Like I didn't really mean it as news. I just thought it's funny that these are going to, and the pre-orders already. They've gone through the roof. People want these. But like Candy, I was mainly bringing it up for you. Like when you're at a festival, you shit yourself when you've got £1,000.
Oh,
in
yeah,
your
big
pocket,
time.
don't you?
Yeah. And
Imagine
also,
you've
like,
got-
do you know what I miss as
You've got
well?
all these 3220s in your pocket
Oh.
that you know you can still access Messenger and Discord,
Mhm.
but it's a little.
And it will last 5 days as well. I went to download with, I think it was the 3210 with 4, and I came back with 1 on my battery left, and I didn't turn it off.
Used to do this all the time. So I used to have my main phone, and I had an old Nokia,
Yeah.
which was literally just my festival phone, and it was just
Burner.
so I could call or text people if I got lost and just say, "I'm
Yeah.
here. Where are you?" And like, yeah, that was before the time of portable phone chargers, and I did turn it on and off, but it would last the whole 4 days. Like, incredible.
I think Nokia have done a genius move. People of our age are going to buy this as their
But they
backup
love-
family phone.
People love like nostalgia and old stuff that the people buy cassette tapes and Walkmans and stuff.
I think people are going to buy the shit.
Yeah,
Have
so
you
I'm
seen
looking
it?
at the
It looks
website
nice.
here, and the funny thing is, it says modern meets retro, a nostalgic favorite update with a 4G Bluetooth. For more, no apps, no
Exactly.
hassle. Take a break from scrolling, connecting, fine. Long-lasting battery.
Thing is, it's got
long-lasting
apps.
battery, and the final point it says play Snake. That is their final. That's their final selling point on the website. Play Snake.
I was talking to the rep at work. He came and said, and I was like, it's got a mode where it's like a proper retro mode, which is a battery booster mode where it's just, you know what I mean, that. But you can get apps on it as well. So it's a bit of best of both worlds, because if you need to use a WhatsApp, you're desperate to use it, and you turn on the app mode on it. I think it's genius anyway. I just thought I'd bring it up.
Look how
I think
good
it's really
Snake
good.
looks as well.
Yeah, Snake's been done up, mate. HD Snake.
I wonder how many frapples.
It's got 20 polyphonic ringtones, baby.
Can you make your own though?
No, we're talking.
Remember the days of being given like,
and
you could go online, you could find the codes. And it's like,
Simpsons.
Yeah,
I've got the Simpsons
and it's
theme
like,
on my phone.
if I input like 24696, and then it would make like the Halloween theme tune.
Yeah. The funky thing about it as well, and they're not even advertising it, you can take an eSIM, so it doesn't actually need a SIM. It's
Nice.
ingenious. If you don't know what eSIMs are, it's very easy to travel with a phone that doesn't have a SIM anymore. It's very fucking good. I'm pumped. I'm gonna buy one, mate. Well, I'll probably get one given, to be honest, but I'm gonna get one. Bring it to the podcastle. See if you can beat my snake score. Next.
Finally, to the Weird World Web. This is actually an old story, but I just came across this because I was struggling to find something.
Nothing bad's happened in the world.
I'm just going to call this what it is. It's the Flavour Graveyard. Have you heard of this?
No, but I'm intrigued.
So Ben & Jerry have a flavour graveyard. It exists in
What?
2 incarnations on Ben & Jerry's website and also at Ben & Jerry's factory in Waterbury in Vermont. There's an actual flavour graveyard on a hill overlooking the factory, complete with granite headstones and witty epitaphs for each flavour. The physical flavour graveyard was erected in 1997 and originally contained just 4 flavours, which only existed in the United States. They were Dastardly Mash, Economic Crunch, Ethan Almond, and Tuskegee Chunk. Since then, the graveyard has grown to include 35 flavours, including Wavy Gravy, Miss Jelina's Sweet Potato Pie, Dublin Mudslide, Holy Cannoli.
I've done a Dublin mudslide before.
Me too, mate. Me too.
And many more. With over 300,000...
Did you say one of the flavours was called Economic Crash?
Yeah, with
I
over
like a hunk of hulky
300,000
burning fudge.
annual visitors to the factory, they're guessing that as many as 250,000 mourners pay their respects at the Flavour Graveyard each year.
That's great. I mean, what is your favourite Ben & Jerry's?
I like
Fish
fish
food.
food, actually.
don't
Mine's
really
Baked
know.
Alaska, which is the white
Baked
version of
Alaska's
fish
good,
food.
yeah, because it is basically the white. It's the vanilla and white
It's-
chocolate
yeah.
version of fish food.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm more of
That's
a
my favourite.
Baskin Robbins girl myself. Biggie, did you
Oh,
not
go
see
on
the
then.
news
What's your
about
favourite
those?
Baskin Robbins? You can't just you can't leave it there.
Oh, bubblegum. Or they like cherry cheesecake, cherry jubilee. There's
Chocolate
31
chip
flavours.
mint
chip,
chop
mint chop
chip.
chip is
Come
very
on.
31
good.
flavours. How can you choose? But Biggie, did you not see the news story about that zoo that was painting dogs to look like men? Just painting them as
I did.
pandas.
I saw that on
No.
TikTok. Yeah, they were painting that.
Painting dogs as pandas.
They said that
They're like little
Yeah.
Akitas or something, and
Yeah.
they like dyed them.
this in China,
Look, they're
in
breeding.
China,
They're
like, little
breeding.
dogs just running around like wagging their tails, be like painted up as pandas.
But it's also the Chinese zoo that had that man pretending to be a crocodile, didn't
Yeah.
Oh god!
Where they're dressed
They
up
also have
as a
one that looked like-
crocodile.
They also have Mr. Tusk in there.
They also had one where people thought it was a man dressed as a bear, but it's
it
actually
wasn't
a bear.
actually a
Because
bear.
That's just how they look, but they do look like a man in a bear costume.
Yeah, they look like men looking at you, don't they?
Oh, send me a
Awesome,
link to that.
awesome
I'll
news.
track that down.
Oh, we're all over TikTok for a while.
I don't really watch
Excellent,
that on
excellent,
TikTok.
excellent. Let's get on with the main show. Candy, what have you been up to? You've been back in Blighty for a while now.
I
What have you
have.
been doing?
Yeah, well, I actually watched a film today, and it was a film from 1975. We'll call
Of course
this.
it was.
We will call this Fallout 1975. Have you heard of a film called Boy and His Dog?
Yes.
I saw A Boy and His Dog for the first time
good,
ever.
isn't it?
It's very good. I didn't know if it was popular. I don't
Not
know. I
about
didn't
Boy
know
and His
anything
Blob.
about it.
Yeah, I do.
I haven't
It's
heard
a
of that
game.
one, but
It's a game.
It's a
It
game.
sounds
Good.
very good.
Oh,
Boy
So-
and His Dog is what they based the road and Fallout from, I think, in the first place.
I think so. Anyway, it's based on a novella, shall we say? And I like this
Yeah, yeah.
because it's one of those stories where everyone is the arsehole, including the dog. In fact, the dog might be the biggest arsehole of them all.
Yeah, the dog's a dickhead.
So it's set in, I think it's set in around now, actually, probably about 2025, and the bombs have dropped. And it's
Yeah.
about a young lad, probably late teens, early 20s, and he's roaming the wasteland with his dog that he has telepathic powers with. And his aim, it seems to be, is to find a woman and rape her, which seems to
Yeah.
be basically like throughout the wasteland, bit of a common theme, really. So,
Repopulate the earth.
well, it was a bit more rapey than that.
It was.
However, he finds a little settlement, and his dog, who's called Blood, but is referred to as dog meat at one point, smells a lady, and he goes and hunts her down and manages to kind of save her actually from raiders. So they do the deed, and she disappears. And he tries to follow her.
He got the raping done.
He got the rape. Well, yeah. So he follows her. He's all love, but the dog does not agree.
No.
They follow her down to an underground, I guess you'd call it a bunker, but somehow there's a sky and a forest. And this is when it goes from Fallout to We Happy Few, because we have people dressed as policemen, people dressed in brass band gear, and they have like the white face and the blusher on, lipstick, men included. And he's followed her down there. It seems to be this kind of paradise until he discovers that he's been taken down there to basically be a breeding stud. Sounds awesome, you might think. He thought so too at the time, until it realised he gets to be artificially ejaculated with electricity. He gets 35 pregnancies, and then he gets sent to the farm where he's killed off. So the two of them escape, and they find Blood, who was left upstairs on the surface world, basically emaciated. He hasn't eaten. The girl tells them to abandon the dog. They can go off and have a life together. They love each other. Off camera, he kills the girl and feeds her to the dog.
Wow.
Yep.
Absolute great ending. So yeah,
Don Johnson. It's famous. It's a famous film. I thought everyone had seen this. It's like an iconic one.
Yeah, no, I hadn't. It's a new experience for me. Yeah,
walking around in his big like fluffy hat and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, there's some interesting attire going on. I noticed that there was about sort of like 3 sets as well. There was the desert, there's a warehouse, and then there was probably rooms that were built in said warehouse.
Yeah,
but I mean, we can. It was 1975. We can forgive it. But if you're,
I know it's a cult classic, and it did inspire a lot. I know it inspired The Road, and I know it inspired. I'm pretty sure Fallout originally, when Interplay did it.
Yeah, I would think. Oh, definitely. I know, like just things like Mad Max and stuff like that.
Mad Max, yeah, that's another one it inspired. I'm pretty sure he had a dog in one of the Mad Max, maybe 2, maybe 1. Can't remember.
I can't remember now, but yeah, if you're in need of a bit more wasteland, something sort of Fallout flavored,
yeah,
give that a go.
Yeah, I remember liking it, but I was a younger man back then, and I didn't care about the human condition as much. Probably won't like it as much now.
Possibly not. It's all a little bit real. That's the thing. It's like this is very believable.
I'm not into the rapey story.
Well, I mean, she got her comeuppance. She got her comeuppance though, almost.
She did. Yeah. Any more, mate? Or is that you?
That's me. Well, I did go and see a band, and I spent some time with Gadget, but I'll let him tell you about that next week.
Oh yeah, he will. Ad nauseum. Biggie, what you been doing?
I had a bigger week. So like Stig said, I also finished Shogun. Really liked it. Could quite happily continue in that world if they do a second season, but also like the fact it ends as it does.
But it's not from the book, so what's it going to be like?
So there is other books in that saga, but there is other books written by the author. But I think the
same author.
They don't. It's not the same characters. I think it's different characters. However, obviously
they were linked.
Said that he's going to come. He's signing a thing to come back. There is. It's done. You could leave it right now and go, right, I'm happy with that. I can fill in the blanks and where this goes from afterwards based on the conversations. But I was just like, I really want more of being in this era of Japan. Like, it looks stunning.
Yeah. Before the Edo period.
They are just... I just love it. I love listening to them just fucking chat politics and chat...
I like that they sat down, they knelt down, talking and letting each other speak, not speaking over each other, and just being very honourable and drinking sake. And
well, you say that this series contains quite possibly one of the most brutal truths that somebody says to somebody ever, and I'm not going to spoil that, but
Really?
it is as brutal as it comes. And it's
Yeah,
fascinating.
Hiroyuki Sanada, he's just so fucking good in this. I know, but
He's good in
this,
everything.
like as being like
Yeah.
He's the best
being
part
the
of Bullet
leader
Train.
and he's playing games. He's playing fucking 4G chess with everyone. Everyone's trying to figure out what he's actually doing. And there's moments in episode 8. I think it's episode 8 with him. It's so fucking tense. Genuine, like one of the tense moments.
The
I've
last
seen
episode I
in
watched is
TV in a long time.
when they were diving and it was teaching him how to dive.
Do
That was the last
honestly
episode
carry
I
on.
watched.
I know I got behind on it and I had to catch up because
Yeah.
I wasn't able to do it.
I did too.
But I smashed through 4 episodes this last week. The last 3 episodes
Yeah.
are amazing, and they just have all this racked up tension and amazing politicking.
I'm finding it easier just to focus on books
Yeah.
lately, though. I don't know why.
But
I don't know
do-
what's happened with
you
the
think
brain.
you'll
It's
enjoy
scrambled.
finishing it off? So do try and finish it off.
I
But
will,
yeah,
I will.
I would be happy with the season 2. But if they had have said it's a one and done, that would have been fine.
Yeah.
It looked very expensive as well, so
It did.
Must have had a payoff.
But the detail, that's the point. I think the detail they put into this really worked. It just, you felt like you were in that world. And I was just, like you say, I felt bad actually taking a break from it. When I went back, I was
Like, why
completely
did I
enraptured.
not continue?
It
Yeah.
makes me want to play Ghost
But,
of Tsushima just to be in to be in another
It does.
Japanese
Good.
world.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
Yeah, it
I know,
does.
but,
Different
but
time
just to
period,
be in
but
kind
not-
of
not
like
far
the
off.
old feudal Japan.
What about that Way of the Samurai? And that's a bit more modern, though. That one, it's a bit like just before
Age of
the 19th
Empires?
century, I think.
No,
No,
Total-
Age of
Play
a good
Empires
Total
is
Shogun.
China,
Shogun
isn't
game
it?
had been any good. I might have picked that up, but from what I heard, it was not good
Yeah.
at all.
Tenchu, get Tenchu back on PlayStation.
Tenchu,
Have a go on
yeah.
that. Have a go on that.
Shinobi.
Shinobi, let's go.
But yeah,
Anything else, Biggie?
the other thing that I did do, which I think you've done as well, is that after Baby Reindeer, and it breaks my heart that I actually had to do this, but I watched Piers
Piers
Morgan's
Morgan.
interview, allegedly
I
the
watched it.
real woman from Baby Reindeer, and
That was a tough
wow,
watch.
just, I mean, whatever you may feel
By the way,
about
I'm not putting her on the pod out.
Or him.
Or him.
Yeah, just whatever you feel about the story of Baby Reindeer, which I'm not going to spoil. Just the fact that the internet sleuths tracked this person down, so now she pretty much felt like she had to come out. And it's really funny that if you take the moral of the story of Baby Reindeer, this is actually
They've all done it.
folding in on itself, and it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing now. And she,
You know what?
if
And-
she's
and I know
innocent, if she's innocent, then
Yeah, it's bad,
she,
isn't it?
it's bad. And she quite rightly should come out and maybe
If
fight
she's
her
not
side.
innocent, it's bad.
Then you're parading this mentally ill person on television who is
Yes.
now getting
Yes.
almost like the limelight, and almost maybe having everything that she wanted from this alleged relationship is now.
Have you
even
heard that she
bigger.
has to have a bodyguard
This
with her
is
now?
why
Wouldn't surprise me.
Piers Morgan is a bad man. Because
He's a bad man.
all he's
Yeah, he's a
done
bad
is
man.
just put
Preys
preyed
on
this
people.
Exploitation.
exploited this mentally ill woman to just for his viewing figures
Yeah,
because it's
he
been
has.
all over TikTok and all over the internet. But yeah, it was. I saw the
For
clips.
what it's
it was-
worth,
And he got the most views he's ever got on his show.
and I'm part of that. And for what it's worth,
Me
I'm
too.
sorry, but I feel like she is as bad as she came across in the TV show. During the interview, the glimpses into
I
her
think
mindset.
she's not innocent.
No, and it was just baffling, and like you say,
My
awkward
favourite
to
bit
watch.
was, and I say favourite bit, it's a real life thing, when he says, "What grades did you get?" Well, I got good grades. But what grades did you get? They weren't bad. But yeah, but what grades did you get?
They were
I
good
got
enough.
some grades.
And she has a
didn't have an
photo.
answer.
She said she had a photographic memory. It was part of her skill set, yet she couldn't recall.
because she's
certain things.
mentally ill.
I know we don't. Yeah, we
That's
don't
what I got
tend to
from
get to
this.
these kind of things on this, but obviously it's been quite a big thing this week. We did talk about the actual TV show a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
Just on that, everyone's focusing on her, and she's not the worst part about his story.
no,
No,
she's not.
it's the TV
The
producer,
writer
isn't it,
and the
Darian?
producer, yeah, and he seems to be getting covered up by certain people as well. So
And everyone knows who he is,
and it's
apparently.
Yeah.
sparking that kind of people within entertainment covering.
I'm sorry,
covering...
TV land, but
Yes,
we've been
exactly.
there
Let's
before.
not do-
We've
let's
been
not do
here
this again.
before.
So yeah, I just wanted to.
Stop covering
Yeah.
predators up. It's disgusting. But yeah, again, let's the less we dwell on it, the better. But it was a massive, massive thing, and it's not going to end this saga. Again, what if it's just the ultimate ploy ever, and all of it's just made up? What if it's Joe Lycett tricking us?
The one thing
She's
I
good
will
at that.
say, the last thing I'll say on this, and this is the weirdest part, is that she claimed that she never met this guy and all this kind of thing. So Richard Gadd's, if this person he created, if it's all false and all this kind of thing,
Why
the
is she so
portrayal in the TV series now, if this is the real person being interviewed as well, is so
Identical.
bang on. It's mental. It's sorry, I shouldn't use that. It's just it's just
being
so
cancelled live on a podcast?
it's so strange how good that performance is to then see this person appear on television and act exactly the same way. It's fascinating.
Unfortunately, it was human bear baiting, but it was so fucking watchable.
Yeah.
And I hate Piers Morgan so fucking much. He is.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, but I was interested to watch that just because to see what she
I just
said.
hope the fact that because he offered her a glass of water that she now stalks him.
So I thought the irony would be that if she does that to him, it'd be amazing.
She's now obsessed with him. Fucking hell. Oh yeah, that's definitely not going on the pod. None of that. Cool. I'll go next. I've done 3 things. The first thing, I watched Argyle because Candice watched it. I turned it off an hour and a half in.
That was probably
thought it was
That was probably the best place to turn it off.
I could have turned it off when Dua Lipa stopped being in it at the beginning, but it's shit.
No, it's not
really
that.
shit.
It's not that shit. It's quite shit.
No.
I would agree.
No,
it's
it's
quite
really
shit.
shit.
Quite shit.
No.
It's really shit.
That
I
is
would
a
say
quote
quite
for the
shit.
box art. It's quite shit.
It's really
It's only
shit.
quite
It's dull.
shit.
I fucking love Sammy Rockwell. He's one of my favourite actors of all time. And he's fucking shit
He can't
in
be
it
good
as
in
well.
everything, unfortunately.
No, it's Vaughn, isn't it? Matthew Vaughn.
Mm.
God, fuck off.
I think the trouble, the second part, like I said, like if the story falls apart in the second half, but
Falls
the
apart as soon
action,
as it starts.
the action kind of picks up a bit. Like the action's fun, but the story,
Choreography's Matthew Vaughn choreography. It's great,
yeah.
but he's never done a bad choreographed thing ever. This is just shit, man. Oh God, it's not as bad as the last, the Kingsmen, the last one, the third one. That was shit.
That was
Was
shit.
that Matthew Vaughn again, or was it just he producing on that?
I don't know, but that one, the one with Rasputin in, that was
See, I
shit.
feel like he's floundering a bit at the moment.
He started off really
Kick-ass.
strong, didn't he? He did
Yeah.
one of the X-Men films. I'm not going to tell you what I think of that.
It was
'cause
a
it'll spoil it for
Producer
people.
on Layer Cake as well.
I was just going to say
Layer
that.
Cake's good.
Yeah.
Layer Cake's good. He was Guy Ritchie's second-hand man, wasn't he?
He was,
Right-hand
yeah.
man.
So he did. What was he directed? Layer Cake. Oh, he said he's directed Layer Cake. So he directed that. Actually, didn't realize that.
Oh, did
So
he?
he did Layer Cake, Stardust. Stardust was all right. Actually, it wasn't. Yeah.
Stardust
Kick-Ass.
is good, Neil
He
Gaiman.
did First Class. Did Kingsman. Then Kingsman: The Golden Circle.
Yeah.
By all accounts, is not very good. The Kingsman, like you said, is not very good. And Argyle.
It's not. He needs to pull it
The
out
scores
the
on
bag next
IMDb
time,
and
'cause-
Rotten Tomatoes just are going down with
Getting
each
lower.
film.
Yeah, they're going down. Yeah. Give him a Jurassic Park. See what
He's
he does
got
with that.
upcoming. He's got The Kingsman, The Blue Blood, and the Kingsman, The Traitor King.
I'm not looking forward to them. But yeah, I turned it off, so I'm not going to review that. I did watch something that I know everyone else has seen now. Dune Part
Obviously,
2.
listen to me.
Way.
Yeah,
I-
and then you
you
said,
sent me the link.
"Oh, if I have time," I was like, "Fuck off."
And I had time. Is that how I sound? If I had time.
No,
But yeah, I watched Dune Part 2. I think you guys are mental. I think the first one's better.
Wow.
Oh no.
Like, don't get me wrong. It's a great fucking film. And it's a great 2-part film, but I think the first one's better.
Nah.
I think the
It's
first one's
a lot better.
I think the first one's better now. It's been elevated because of 2.
I enjoyed the first one a second time round much more. I agree. But now that I watched the second one, I was blown away by that. If I watch the second one again, I'll be like, oh my God, it's so good. I can see the same thing happening again.
It's really good. I don't want to misconstrue it. It's a fucking 9 out of 10 film. This is a fucking great film. It's got one of my favourite fight scenes I've ever fucking seen in cinema. Just, everyone's firing on all cylinders. Everything's good. And bear in mind, I've read the whole saga of the Dune saga, even the ones that are not Frank Herbert.
So what do you like
So I
more
know
out of the
world.
first one? What's the one that elevates
talking.
that? Oh,
There's a lot
okay.
more talking, a lot more exposition, a lot more this, that, a lot more world building. And again, the second part of the first book, which was my least favourite part of the first book as well. So it's in line, isn't it, with what my tastes are? But again, it's a 9 out of 10 film. Do you know what I mean? I think the first one's a 9 out of 10 film. I don't think it's the second coming like some people believe. I think it's just a fantastic adaptation of a book that was very difficult to adapt, especially the original film. Fucking hell. That's bad.
I need to go back on.
That's
I
bad,
promised Stig I'd watch that. I haven't done that yet. I must go and watch
Watch
It's
what's
good.
That's bad.
Dune,
The original Dune.
the proper Dune.
It's banging.
Not
It's banging.
banging candy. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not bandit. It's not banging at all. It's
Better than the new
fucking
ones.
shite.
The new
So
rubbish.
shit.
I know, but it's done that. It's looped round.
No,
it's good again.
not.
It's
You're
so bad.
You're
like
looped
those
around.
people who are giving the
No.
fucking prequels a free
Bear
pass.
in mind, Kyle MacLachlan's in that, and he's supposed to be, 16 years old?
You know the people now giving the prequels a free pass because the Star Wars film, the Disney films haven't lived up to expectations. No, the prequels are still shit. Stop saying Revenge of the Sith is the best Star Wars film. It's not.
Candy's one of them that prefers the original Super Mario Brothers film, isn't she? She's one of them. It's a great film.
Well, I
When
maybe wouldn't
people
go
came
that
out with
far.
articles saying that was better, I was like, ridiculous. I know
Ridiculous.
that the new one is just superficial as fuck, and it is all about but it
It's
is
fun, though.
fun, and it's an actual Mario film.
Yeah, exactly.
Starring Mario, and Luigi Mario.
Yeah.
The Mario Brothers, and we're here to say we come and do your plumbing in a major way. Fuck off. Shite. But yeah, I watched Dune Part 2. That was good. I'm not going to dwell on that. The main thing I've done this week, and I'm sad Gadget's not here because he'd have got into this with me. I finally played Lords of the Fallen, which me and Gadget laughed at when it was announced a few years
You
back,
did?
which is it is the same name title follow-up of the original Lords of the Fallen.
I thought this trailer looked good for this, though.
Yes. So here we go. Let's get into this. I got this for £9
Wow.
at Sports Direct's featuring game. There's just fucking games for fuck all at the moment lately. It's brilliant. I got Forspoken as well, but I hadn't touched that yet. I'm just buying. I'm buying shit games for shit prices. It's brilliant. But Lords of the Fallen, it's an action role playing video. Let's be real, it's a Souls-like. Let's not bury the lead. By Hexwork and published by CI Games. Now, the first one was not very well liked. It was a clunky, imagine Souls game, but you were controlling a space marine from Warhammer. You know what I mean? Like a big chunky boy. You can't barely move. You can't turn your head around. You've got to turn your whole body around. They've kind of used the world of the original Lords of the Fallen, but made a completely different story out of that world. It's as if, imagine Middle Earth, but it's not the characters we know in Middle Earth. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. The other game never existed. And it's not very good. It's really not very good. There's two main... the controls are there exactly the same as Elden Ring, which is fine. No one's moaning about that. It plays a lot like Elden Ring. It does something what Elden Ring doesn't do. Elden Ring encourages you to explore, doesn't it? It encourages you to go out and see things and do things. Even Dark Souls encourage you to be like, what's round this corner? unlike Biggie, who got lost everywhere. But it still encourages you to just step out into the unknown a little bit longer. Test it. Test yourself. This is a Souls-like where if you die, you don't die. You go into a spirit realm. And you can, if you survive a bit longer, you can come back. Unfortunately, the game relies on the spirit realm too much. So the game has the normal living world, and it also has a puzzle mechanic all the way through where you've got a lantern and you can shine a lantern and it shows you what that place would look like in the spiritual realm. And then if you can't get through a gate in the spiritual realm, it's not there. You know, like Soul Reaver. You know how you could always warp where you were in Soul Reaver if you've ever played that. God, where's Gadget when I need him? It's like that. But the problem is, once you've gone into the spirit realm, you have to then go back to the quote-unquote bonfire to become back alive again. So it's just a ball ache. The game's a ball ache. That's the best way to describe it. It's not very difficult. It's not rewarding to open chests because it's never like awesome new armors or awesome new weapons. It's just more and more little trinkets. Like the best thing about Elden Ring, I mean, even Stig's played a lot of Elden Ring where he knows that, there might be a really nice bit of kit down there, new weapon down there. It's worth going. It's
so
worth
much
risking your life.
It that I'm still nowhere near finishing it.
But you've got a bottomless chest inside of you, full of fucking weapons.
The fucking part about that game is just, look, there's an entrance to the underworld here. I'll just go in here, and
let's go.
Okay, now I'm spending the next 4 or 5 hours in this one area. It's like, fuck's sake.
Yeah, but it encourages that. This game doesn't do that. It's always making you rush. Because I forgot to mention, when you're in the spiritual world, you're dying. Your health's slowly dying. If you die in the spiritual world, you'll die and have to go back to the bonfire. It just doesn't encourage that whimsy that I like from these games. Like the controls are fine. The combat's absolutely fine. It's not mind-blowing. There's loads of builds. There's loads of characters you can create. You can be anyone you want to be. You can do anything you want to do. But there's no reason to exist in that world. It's very hard to explain if you're not into that kind of game. It's like, imagine, like, you know all the little bits you can do in Zelda, in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, which is just fun to be around. But you usually get something for it, don't you, when you're messing about with the mechanics, and you usually, I don't know, you get another heart piece or you'll get a new tunic. You don't do that in this. You get your new clothes and your new weapons by killing bosses, and then you get them, and they're so much weaker than what you've got, and it's just, I think it's a missed opportunity. Again, why did they call it Lords of the Fallen again? Just completely again. Now you've got to type. If you want, I got stuck on a little bit, and I put Lords of the Fallen Graveyard, and I'm reading it for ages, going, I've never seen that. It's the graveyard from the first game. I'm reading the wiki and how to do that. I was just getting pissed off. But I'm not going to return it because it cost me £9 or whatever, but it's just not very good. If anyone wants it, I'll send it over. But people might like it if they think Dark Souls and Elden Ring's too hard, because this is not very difficult. That's the only reward you get from it. It's not.
That's
very
me
hard.
then.
When you die, you don't die. You probably fucking love it because it's very linear. You can't get lost. You're just going down corridors. It's pretty. It's a pretty game, and the lore is quite cool, but it's just ultimately a bit shit. But other than Dune Part 2, everything's been a bit shit this week. I had a really good week last week. It's a really good fucking week, and it's just been a shitter this week, and it's red hot.
Nice.
Who am I missing? Stig, have I done you yet?
So, I said, I've watched Shogun this week, and the other thing I did was I've been listening to Project Hail Mary on Gadget's recommendation. So I got that on Audible. Really, really good. I really like the framing device, the way it's told through first person. Everything is told via the narrator. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
It's all, it's about how it's everything he's experiencing and the way.
I think they can be quite easy to get into when you're being
narrated.
Yeah,
it feels like this is like, especially when it's an Audible, because it's feels like you're getting it very much like a personal kind of view of things.
Yes.
I agree. Yeah, it's really good in Audible form. I'm really enjoying it. I got about 3 hours left on that. And like Gadget had said, there was something that they can do within the Audible format, which works really well. Again, you can't spoil it because it's a major element and spoiler to the book. But I agree, it's really well done. And I messaged him about it. And he said, "Yeah, that's exactly what he loved about it." Yeah, it's I like it goes back and forth from the setup to what's happening now as well. So
I think I'm just going to get the book on my
yeah,
Kindle.
it's really
and read
good.
it.
But if you want like an Audible version, like it's definitely one to it's worthwhile
It's a
spending
good
your credit on.
It's a nice feely as well. It's a nice feel good one.
Although something did happen recently, and I was a bit sad, and then. Well, it's not spoilers, but yeah, I was like,
Don't spoil it.
But yeah, good. It's a hearty recommendation. And the other thing I've done this week, Cinema Guy strikes again. He's back. He's back. He's been back at the cinema, keeping up to date with the latest blockbuster films of the summer. I've been to see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to this.
So Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is a sequel to the most recent reboot, which was Rise,
Trilogy.
to What Dawn, and War. Even though the naming
good.
conventions of them make no sense. It should be
They've got them wrong way around.
It should be Dawn, Rise, and War.
Yep.
But I really enjoyed them. It's a really solid, I think
The Caesar Saga.
yeah, it's a really good trilogy of films. The CGI looks incredible. The motion capture is great.
Andy Serkis.
And then this is a follow up to that. It's set it says at the start, many generations later. So this is set in the future. It's about the apes after Caesar's reign, and now humans have devolved almost, and because of the virus that spread around, apes are now the dominant species of the earth.
The simian flu, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Simian flu, they called it.
And humans have kind of devolved back to cavemen.
Like now, you mean?
Some humans have devolved back to cavemen.
Like in Bristol.
Hey,
In the West Country. And so it now follows a young ape called Noah, who is part of this tribe. And this tribe, they are kind of one with eagles. Part of their big thing is that they train eagles. And
Yeah, why not?
yeah, it's one of their things they do. They have to help them hunt and help them whatever.
Like a falconer.
Yeah, and
Like
right
they
at the
used to do
start.
in the Middle Ages.
So right at the start of the film, you see Noah and his friends. It's Anya and I can't remember the other one. But they're off looking.
Bobo.
Lacquer, I think she's called. They're off looking for eagle eggs. So the idea is that they take an egg, and when it hatches,
Imprints.
it imprints on them, and then they raise that eagle to be their eagle.
Yeah.
But during all this, they get spotted by a echo. It's what they call humans, and his egg gets broken, so he has to go back to go get a new egg later in that evening. And when that happens, he sees another tribe of apes, and this other ape tribe comes and destroys their village. And this sets Noah off on this task of trying to get to that other clan and free his clan. So that's the setup for the film. Obviously, the CGI in this is absolutely incredible. The motion capture again is brilliant. All of this, the world built. Most of the world is CGI, and it looks amazing. Some of the stuff the water and the trees, you'd never be able to tell it's not real. The biggest problem I have with this film is that I was a bit cynical about them doing another one, and I'm still kind of feeling a bit cynical about it because the film is fine. It looks amazing. Some great set pieces. But the biggest problem is the pacing. The film is 2.5 hours long, and it's really flabby for the first hour and a half.
They speak in this then, so you don't have to just do the sign language.
Yeah, so they speak and use sign language. So every now and again they'll use sign language, but predominantly they do speak.
Because they started speaking in the last one, but not much, didn't they?
Yeah. So they do speak in this, and that's for all intents and purposes, these are our main characters. We follow the apes. Now the humans are completely side characters.
There were barely any humans in the last one.
This is all about but this is all about the apes. Now there is a human character in this played by Freya Allen.
Siri.
Yeah, from The Witcher. But yeah, it takes so long to get going. The first hour or so is kind of dull.
Is it like Avatar, where it's just showing their lives.
Yeah.
Because Avatar, the second Avatar film that I went to see, is just like, is anything going to happen in this film?
That's exactly what the first hour of this film feels like. Like, I've said this multiple
Shite.
times before, I'm not bothered about a film being long. If a film is long and it's justified, and I'm in that world,
Yeah.
I can sit and watch a 3.5 hour long film and feel like that was my time well spent.
But you're not asked about watching chimps eating eggs.
No. But this does drag, but it's the last hour of it when he kind of does meet up with the tribe and the shit kicks off and you meet the new Proximus Caesar. So this new king ape, this gorilla who sees himself as the next Caesar. He's teaching the words of Caesar, but as things happen over time, it's become distorted, and he is now using what Caesar said, but he's not really doing the correct teachings.
Almost as if it's a parallel for other religions.
Yeah,
now.
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. And that's when it kind of picks up, and it does start becoming interesting,
Exciting.
and you do get some exciting set pieces, and it looks great. But one of my biggest problems is I just didn't connect with Noah like I did with Caesar.
Is he called Noah because of the religious connotations?
No,
like
he's
getting
just
everyone together.
No, NOA is like the character.
Oh,
it's not
right.
like
not Noah as in Noah's Ark.
yeah, it's not even spelled the same. But
Right.
yeah, I don't know whether that's just down to script or whether it's down to Andy Serkis just absolutely, being amazing in that part. And
Yeah.
even though it's not him, he was still able to emote so much through the motion capture that actually kind of got you interested and intrigued in
Have
Caesar's
you
story.
seen the footage of them actually acting in the mocap suits? It's incredible.
Yeah, and
They're so fucking good.
they are good in this. Don't get me wrong. Like the way that they move and they act, they do that perfectly. But there's something about Andy Serkis and the way that he acts that role that had me just captivated by Caesar. I do not get that with any of the characters in this, any of the apes.
Right.
And I think that's one of the biggest problems. And it is, for all intents and purposes, a 2.5 hour setup for this trilogy.
Yeah.
It's not its own story. It doesn't end. So if
The Noah saga now.
if this was to bomb and they said, right, actually, despite the fact they've actually come out and said we've got enough to make this a 9-film saga,
Fucking hell.
so they want to do this
Wow.
trilogy and then clearly do another one afterwards.
I'd love to know what their titles are going to be after all of that.
Yeah, I think.
I wonder if they're gonna go back to like the Charlton Hestons, where like the first Planet of the Apes was Planet of the Apes that we know. Then it got into stuff like there was tribes worshipping atom bombs and stuff
beneath
like that.
beneath the Planet of the Apes.
Beneath, yeah. And then it was
Conquest.
Escape from the Planet of the Apes.
Escape.
And Conquest, where they went back to Earth.
Yeah. I like Escape. Escape is really good.
Escape's good.
Beneath is not good, apart from the ending. But I just feel like, yes, you could lead this to the point where we do get a Planet of the Apes remake, where the whole world's apes, and then and that's where
Getting chased on horseback and stuff.
and then you have an astronaut come back. The problem is that
Yeah.
if you're watching these from the start to the finish now, the whole reveal of that film is
World's
ruined.
Yeah.
Like the whole point of that film was.
Yeah, because that was the best thing, wasn't it? Because Charlton Heston was the astronaut.
And you thought it was on a different world, and
you thought it was in a different world. Yeah, so there's no, you maniacs, you did it.
yeah, that's
None of that.
that's completely ruined. Do you remember the Tim Burton one where he manages to get back and it's
Mark Wahlberg, you're an ape.
and he gets back to Washington and it's Abraham Lincoln as an ape. Abraham.
Yeah, and there's ape cops.
Yeah. And it was never
So
explained
fucking
why.
No, it's so bad.
But-
Tim Burton is a fucking mess.
Yeah.
So,
but
Very
this
quickly
is-
then, so what's worth doing? Is it worth watching the originals in any way, or is it worth just jumping in on these?
The
'Cause
originals
I
are
haven't
great
really-
in their own ways.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen
You've never
them.
seen any at Planet Apes?
I've seen one of them years and years ago, but just don't remember
Right,
much about it.
don't even bother, because next year, after Modern Escapism, we're doing the Ape Men.
I'd be well up for that if people haven't seen it. Like
Yeah.
the original,
We're doing the Ape
original
Man.
is fantastic.
Save all this good content for the patrons.
And
Okay.
Can't spell
Escape,
escapism without ape.
You can't.
and one of them's called
Nice.
Escape from the Planet of the Apes.
Modern Apescapism.
The yes. There we go.
We
We
got
sorted it. We sorted it. Yeah, the story of Cornelius and that after the original Planet of the
Yeah.
Apes. It's good. I like it.
Yeah, it's really good, yeah.
And it kind of...
There's a lot of humans kissing apes in the original stuff.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Bit weird.
Ah,
Is there no sexy apes in this new film?
I'll wank at anything if it's possible.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's an enjoyable film. It isn't bad. It's a perfectly good 3 out of 5 film.
Save
It's
it for
too
when it's
long,
on streaming. Yeah?
And it's just a setup for the rest of the things, and that's a bit disappointing.
Are they? Is the recent trilogy on anything to stream? Actually,
They are.
I'll go back
They
and
are
watch
great.
them. I like the James Franco.
I
one.
really like that trilogy. It's one of like the best like modern
I do.
trilogies.
The one with Gary Oldman in as well.
And
Gary
The
Oldman's
War.
in one of them.
Dawn is the best out of them, I think, and then War is really good. The one's got
Yeah,
Woody
it
Harrelson
is.
in. They're on Disney Plus.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, then Disney Plus. Let's fucking go, Apes.
The old
Let's go.
ones are they're all on Disney Plus.
Fucking hell. We can do it. Modern Apescapism then. No, we'll have to put the men at the end. Modern Apescapism. Let's go. Yo, maniacs. This is it. I can't wait. Brilliant. I'm glad you've inspired content there.
Dr. Sayers.
Cinema guy
Dr.
strikes
Sayers.
again.
Dr. Sayers. Do you know that was my first introduction to any Planet of the Apes?
No way.
Well, yeah, because when that came out, I've only been like a young kid. I love you, Dr. Sayers.
A to chimpanzee.
I can talk. I can sing.
I love the ape films. Oh, God. I love that one when they're in LA. It's so good. And yes, Biggie, they're in LA in the 70s.
Okay.
And one of the guys goes, wow, that's a cool afro, man. And he's an ape.
Oh no. Oh no.
Amazing.
Oh, God, that's brilliant. Any more, Stig, or have
No.
you just been watching the apes? Would you give it a, would you give it a
But
score?
yeah,
You said
good
3.5 out of
yeah.
5. Excellent. Excellent. What have our ape of our listeners been doing this week? Have we got any feedback at all?
We do have some feedback, and seems though Gadget thought that going to train for his new job was more important than the podcast.
Disgusting.
Yep.
Disgusting.
I will fill in for him. So yeah, first up we have Mike, who says, this week we started Dead Boy Detectives after Oodle's recommendations. Really enjoying it so far.
Yes.
Also, on
Good.
his recommendations, I got a Backbone controller for playing games around the house. Still getting used to it, but I got my brother's Game Pass details so I can play Starfield. Northern Lights was stunning.
That's how I played it.
Yeah, Eurovision was the big event for the weekend. It's a family tradition to go big for it. Bit disappointed about the results, as I liked Ireland and Croatia, but that's Eurovision for you.
I didn't know Eurovision was on.
That's for my two faves.
I didn't know we were on. I completely missed it,
I don't
haven't I?
watch it. No
I've not watched it since I was a
interest
kid.
at all.
I love
Making
it.
your
Love
mind
a
up.
bit of Eurovision.
Bucks Fizz.
I always like to know who won, but I don't really care about watching
Who
it.
won?
Ireland. No, Switzerland. Sorry.
What's the song? 6.
Yeah, Switzerland won.
Sing the bit of the song
My
to me.
favourites were Swiss. I don't know. I don't know. Oh no. Do you know what? The song was actually really good, but the singer was just.
What was the British song? Is it Britain or England?
Oh, it was Sam something.
He didn't get any votes.
What was the British song? Is it Britain or England?
Britain.
Britain.
United Kingdom.
United Kingdom.
He
in
got
fact.
40
Yeah.
something, but mainly through the judges' votes. He got 0 from any of the the watching.
Was he not good? Was he someone famous? Was it Cliff Richard?
I'd heard the production
Yeah,
was
it
good,
was
but the song was shit.
The set was incredible, actually. The set was really good, but it was just, it was just very forgettable. And people hate us anyway, so it was always going to be a nil
When we
point.
had just a fairly regular
Since
guy
Brexit.
doing a really good song 2 years ago, everyone loved it.
Yeah.
Just find a good fucking singer.
Oh yeah, that guy that sounds like Queen.
Sam
He does
Ryder.
Queen type songs, don't you?
yeah, he was really good. That's
The guy from Mass Effect Andromeda, Sam Ryder. It's a niche joke for some people.
but Britain's
Biggie gets it.
I always feel like Britain tries to. They always seem to be playing catch up. They see someone else do something, go, we'll do that, but not as good.
I did hear on Twitter that it was the gayest Eurovision ever, which intrigues me a little bit. Was it super gay?
UK one was super gay, wasn't it? Yeah.
That was very, the
Was
UK
it?
was very
That's
gay.
why
I
it
mean,
didn't get votes.
there's I mean, Eurovision is just always camp, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the Dutch guy got kicked out, didn't he? He was
What
in
do
a
you mean he
weird
got
outfit.
kicked
from
out?
what I
What
saw.
were we
Yeah.
doing? Were you pissed?
Apparently
there's all sorts of
intimidated
politics
someone
going
behind
on.
the scenes. And,
The fucking
What?
Dutch.
Yes,
a
that-
female
that's what he-
person
politics,
as well.
please. We're not...
Yeah, that's what he
Yeah.
got accused of. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Look what you've done, Mike. You've brought this on.
Anyway, we'll move on. Lee Davies says, I've been playing Animal Well, a lovely little Metroidvania with practically no combat, but plenty of exploration.
Ooh.
It's such a fantastic game with an 8-bit style graphics and great atmosphere. Strongly recommend it. I'm 9 hours in, which is about 2/3 through the game.
Oh, Animal Well. Okay. Is it on Switch? Probably.
Oh,
Metroidvania,
yeah,
they're always on Switch.
yeah, especially 8-bit graphics.
Yeah, they're always on Switch. Ooh, okay. Maybe I will have a better week next week if I get that.
Weird thing about that podcast says I've been playing both SteamWorld Heist and Salt and Sanctuary. I got on the Switch indie sale. Watching the new series of Welcome to Wrexham and Fallout, all great.
Oh, is that back on Welcome to Wrexham? I could spoil it for you all.
Just look at the league
It's
table.
always about 2 years behind, isn't it? It's always about 2 years. Like, yeah, they're not doing bad. Any more?
Yep, next up we have Gadget. Some guy called Gadget, first time writer.
Is he a patron?
He's not a patron, no, he's a cheapskate.
Oh.
So he says, behold, the contact form, it still exists. He wrote it on our website at least. So
So he's a nice guy.
yeah, points for that. Evening all, apologies I'm not on this week. On what? But I'm currently on a boat heading to the land of Shamrocks, Guinness, and extreme reactions to disagreements.
Ireland, I think.
Yeah, but I've done things, so I figured I'd write in. First off, fuck you, Oodles. Pixel Lit is fucking great. Damn you, I have too
Told
much
ya.
media to consume as it is. Secondly,
Told
on
you,
the
baby.
drive to the ferry port, I finished The Republic of Thieves, generally one of my favourite fantasy books I've ever read / listened to. Absolutely stunning work, and fuck you, Scott Lynch, for not having the book 4 out yet. He's working on it. He is working on it. Thirdly, I took a trip down to Birmingham this week to see the mighty, the monstrous, the strangely sexual Tenacious D. My first gig back after the pandemic, and fuck me, it was incredible. For two aging guys, Jack and Carl can still rock it. Their voices are superb, and Jack can most definitely belt out those notes like it's nobody's business. They even threw in a surprise cover of Good Times, Bad Times by Led Zeppelin, which was fantastic.
Did there?
Yeah, we also met up with Candy and Acid Pearl for giant beers before the gig.
No, did you? You didn't tell me you'd seen him.
I was waiting for Gadget to say, yeah, I did.
I've been to a gig, but Gadget would...
He's very handsome in the flesh, isn't he?
Gadget? Oh, yeah,
And
absolutely.
you are as
And
well.
Jack Black.
You're
And Kyle.
very handsome in the flesh as well.
I'm
Candy.
all right, passable. Shorter in real life.
Yeah, you are. I was so surprised when I met you. I went, look how short you are.
I'm down here.
Not for me, Candy. You're
Oh.
a good height.
Thanks.
Just a bit taller than Stig.
I was looking up.
It's always nice when a fellow hobbit sticks up for you.
Absolutely.
Those short
The hairy
kings and
feet.
queens got to stick together. Lastly, speaking of Miss Candy Tattoo Machine, the next day I visited her shop to be coloured in again. 5 hours Candy delivered me pen and ink, and she did a stunning job of creating a stylized version of Melania from Elden Ring on my forearm. I'm in love with it, and I can tell you what, Candy's pretty good at this tattooing malarkey. She's got a bright future.
I've
in the
heard,
field,
Candy,
for sure.
I've heard you done mates rates, pal.
Well, it depends on the mate.
What about the guy that gave you a job on this podcast?
Well, yeah, that's a big
And the
mate
guy
rate.
that'll let you do anything on him.
I know, and he keeps trying to pay me too much as well. I give him a price, he gives me more.
Right.
It's like it's the reverse of mates
Me
rate.
and Stig have decided we're coming.
He just doesn't know how to haggle properly.
Me and Stig are me
Yeah.
and Stig are going to come down and we're going to book in. I know you're busy, but we're going to book in at some point. We're going to come down. I'm going to pay him some petrol. We're going to come down and get inked. But I've promised that I'm going to let you or Stace do what they want on my body, as long as it's not offensive. So I'm coming down with no ideas, just
Buckle up.
money.
Good thing you like Fallout, really.
I love it. I'm going to get a big Brotherhood of Steel on my back.
Brotherhood of Steel with
The Institute.
without a helmet,
cock.
and it's Taylor Swift's face in the
I'd have it. You know I'd have it. I wouldn't give a
A ghoul
fuck.
with proper ghouly cock and balls.
No, he hasn't got
They ain't
one,
got one.
according to law.
No, they ain't got 'em.
Oh.
You know that's fallen off. He ain't got a nose. Come on.
So anyway, finishes off with,
This
all
is
in all, it's
good
been a great
point.
week. Now to finish my £8 pint of Ferry Heineken and consider a £7.90 bowl of chips before we dock. Pause for Oodles to have a heart attack at those prices before moving on to the next feedback.
Okay, now fire. What's that? 20 odd quid for a pint and chips?
Yeah, more next week from me about the prices of things when you're aware.
Oh,
Anyway,
I can't cope.
next up we have Xenos. Last week I was about an hour into Enshrouded, what I wrote in my feedback. 1 week and significant amount of exploration, gathering, crafting, murdering and looting later. We're now on about 20 hours into the game and I'm enjoying this enormously, sorry. We've got 3 players right now and we're about a level 11, though I have no idea what the level cap is, which is enough for us to have started specialising into classes.
500.
And perhaps unsurprisingly our wizard, which means I got to splat. I go splat if a skeleton slaps me too hard, but also can deal damage in hundreds to everything near my target, though I also have various healing spells and regeneration aura.
Nice.
My friends are a ranger and a tank warrior, so we've basically the classic D&D party composition with me doubling as a cleric. Exploration is fun, and with an absolutely enormous map to cover and a ton of dungeons and other stuff to find along the way. Gathering is set up, so you have to explore to keep improving your gear, and finding new materials means major upgrades. And the building system is probably the most complicated I've ever seen in a survival crafting game. It works similar to Minecraft, but with more compact blocks, so you can be far more precise with the structures. There's a variety of present shapes in the building menu to facilitate basic houses, but you can make some fancy-ass stuff if you're prepared to do it manually, and we've been finding things like half-timber blocks lying around that you can use to make a full Tudor-era house, or red marble we plundered from a tomb and gets you a full ancient necropolis of Doom vibes. I suspect we'll be busy with the game for a while, and yet, because it's still in early access and being actively updated, we've not even covered a third of the existing world map as of this week.
Cool.
I like the building games that give you a bit more free reign. Or you can try and break it slightly. So I remember when we played Valheim, they give you kind of basic ways of positioning things. But if you're clever and you move things around, you can kind of game break it. So you can do these odd shapes and these, more elaborate things which shouldn't work. And when you look at them and go, how does that building stand? But the game thinks, this is fine. And it makes it look like you've got awesome houses.
Yeah. That's how I'd probably play it as well.
You can get lost for ages just building a house in those games.
Yeah.
Like I was forever in Valheim just improving. I started off with literally a rectangle house with one floor to put my bed on, and then eventually it just became this huge house with all this crafting area in I had a kitchen area and a crafting area and a bench over here to do arrows, and upstairs in the master bedroom I had all the beasts I'd killed on placards on the wall, and then because I get attacked from trolls, I put in defense towers on the side, and you could climb up the tower, a ladder to the ceiling and fire stuff off there. It just evolves.
Yeah.
It's great, but I can't get into them too much because it'll just waste my life.
Again,
Absolute time sinks, aren't
I've
they?
never played one, but I do get addicted to games of that that loop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be fucked. And if it were a really good one, like you said, like Valheim or something like that, I would absolutely be fucked.
Yeah.
I daren't get in.
Some of the lads in Ark just had a basic house, and I was just like, no, fuck that. I want mine to look like an elaborate.
Yeah.
I'm the king.
I want the ice hotel from Die Another Day or whatever.
Yeah. Moving on, Best Boy Angry Kurt says, hi, Emmy crew. This week, the main thing I did, other than play more Blacktrot and moving to Derbyshire to go and see Love Lies Bleeding. And moving to Derbyshire was to go see Love Lies Bleeding. Sorry. Haven't got much to add from what Stig said last week, and it's definitely an Oodles type film. There was one aspect of the ending I really didn't like, which me and Stig chatted about in Discord, but other than that, it was great.
I'm looking forward to it.
I also started a new book called The Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. This was his first book in 2018, but has since become an award-winning writer and written 3 more books. What got me more into it was the Backpage podcast interviewed him last week because he was also a big gamer, and you can tell with this book that it has some influences on his stories and writing. The setup for this book is that a murder has taken place in a country house party. A man wakes up in a body that isn't his own and has no memory of the body he occupies. He finds the dead body of a woman and then is taken to a mysterious plague doctor to solve the murder in order to escape the cycle he's in. I say cycle because through the day at different points, this man you're reading from the perspective of will suddenly be put into the body of another person at this party. It's like Quantum Leap.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you get to see the murder unfold from multiple perspectives, and all with the aim of solving the murder. At the same time, there are other characters acting as rivals trying to solve the murder, but the only one who will be saved is whoever solves the murder first. It's basically something like Deathloop or Sexy Brutale, and it's really good so far. As I write this, I'm about to watch X2. Cheers. Actually, it does sound quite...
X2.
I actually quite like the premise of that, like being able to
Yeah, I
see
do.
see the murder from different aspects, but it's rather than it being different characters, it's the same character who's trying to piece it together by,
I like it.
being in different
I
people's
think it's
bodies.
good.
Yeah,
It's different to Agatha Christie enough. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, let's go.
yeah. That's it.
I'm into
That
it.
is every bit of feedback.
Excellent. As always, links to all our extracurricular activities are in our show notes and at modernescapism.co.uk. Freshly updated. Stig's done a lot of work on that website, so get on it. Just have a look. Just have a look for him. And as always, please consider becoming a patron. We have recorded Modern Escapism X2. We've recorded it. We know where it ranks in our X-Men rankings. We know what we think about it. But you don't, and you won't unless you're a patron, because we have locked it out. We have ka-ching and bamfed it out of you. It's not free anymore. It is locked behind a paywall. So is Kenny Potter. So is Too Far Too Curious. And so is all the other beautiful patron-chosen patron episodes we do. It's really good content, and it's all there. Even if you just buy it for 1 month, it's all there, isn't it? You can download every single thing and not pay us for next month. You've done it. You've unlocked the cheat, the hack. But you've got to pay for it first.
If you do that, you're a cock.
Yeah, you're a cock, but thanks. But thanks. This is usually where we end the show, but before we end the show, we like to subject you to some mental torture that we affectionately call Candyland.
And now, what's up in Candyland?
Very rude. How could you say something so cruel? Speaking of which, though, you know how they're developing like thought-to-text technology? So you have a little chip, and you can, like, for people that can't speak and whatnot, or just for like Google searching or whatever, you've got that implant in there.
Yeah.
How are they going to like phase out the intrusive thoughts?
Ooh.
Like if you want to say to somebody, "Oh, how are you doing? How's the missus?" I really want to stab myself in the face.
Oh, I really want to fuck,
You know,
fuck
like-
your wife.
Yeah. How's the missus? Oh, and her nice tits.
Get
Is
out
it
of
gonna
my
be
mind,
like
Candy.
the-
Get out of my mind.
Isn't it
Well,
like
like,
the safe search filter that you have on Google? It's sort of like
Well,
having
yeah,
that on.
I mean,
or...
but you don't know like how is it going to differentiate? Because it is for like Google searching and stuff.
Yes.
Or like if you've got a voice box like reading out your thoughts or something, like you've gone on a nice walk and then suddenly you say, "Let's jump off the side."
Yeah.
I'm actually
like-
with you. I actually think we should have this, that we'd have a much more brutal but potentially honest world.
You're basically
you
doing
can
what
just say
John Dee
things
did in
that just come out.
The Sandman, where he just made so no one could lie. You're a baddie.
Well, no, it's
You're a bad
intrusive
guy.
thoughts aren't exactly. That's not exactly what intrusive thought is, though, is it? It's like the Tourette's of having
It's-
thoughts. Like
it's that thought
you're not
that I have
actually thinking that.
Every Monday morning when bus is coming, I'm like, shall I not put my hand out and just put my head out in front and get killed
There's
by this
there's-
bus?
Yeah, exactly. Like there's that
there was-
quick
there's that
urge, isn't there?
trend was going
It's
around.
too long in my head, unfortunately.
Trend was going around on TikTok, wasn't it? Of that, like, it would have like ha ha music, and it would like the person you switch to the next one that had like that score behind them with the intrusive thoughts, and
Yep,
it would like
yep,
the person
yep,
would be like, oh, that looks a long way down. You'd swipe to the side, and the intrusive thought would be like
Jump.
I'd be like, oh, that's a
Yeah.
cute baby you've got there. And the intrusive thought would be like, throw it.
Tell 'em it's ugly.
Punch it.
There's that one where like, I've just started my diet. Order a KFC.
Yeah, like. Yeah, but you could get away from
Yeah.
intrusive thoughts because sometimes you just like,
You've got him.
yeah, and sometimes people say something to you, and you just in your mind, the first thing is in your head, you just go fuck off, and then you start the conversation with them.
Exactly. But you don't even mean it though, do you? It's just that thought that pops into your head, like what you should not be thinking.
Yeah. Have you got a favourite one that you've done yourself?
Yeah, what's your favourite
'Cause I actually
intrusive
have
thought,
one.
Candy?
Oh, I don't have a favourite. They're all pretty dark, to be fair.
God knows what she must be thinking about us when she sat there silent, judging us.
Oh, when
no,
she was at the
I'll
pub.
tell you the
reading
one
my
that I
phone.
had.
I'll kill them next time I
God,
see
I was
them all.
working-
Strap it, ladies and gentlemen. Biggie's going to let us into his eternal
God,
thoughts.
am I gonna have to
his
bleep? Am I gonna have to
downfalls.
bleep this?
Strap in. Strap the
No,
fucking...
no. This is so dark.
Strap
I
it.
was working. I was working behind a bar, and this couple who came into the bar, who no one really liked, had just had a baby, and they came in. I was like, oh no, they're gonna get me to want to hold the baby, and I didn't want to. And then they came over and gave me the baby, and this little thought popped into my head, and I thought, shall I just nip into the back because there's a fake baby doll thing there at the back? Swap the clothes quickly and come out and drop kick the baby in the bar, just to see.
Fuck me.
Just to see their reaction for a moment, because it was just been completely mind blowing.
You're horrible.
And then go, it's not really your baby. And I just thought, where did that come from? And I was giggling to myself.
I know
for no
where it
reason.
came from. You're fucking
But,
mind tank.
But yeah,
You're a
it's just-
dangerous
I
man.
always remember that.
He'll always
Just
remember
for
it because he's
second,
just
I
like,
thought,
what a missed
this would be
opportunity.
really funny to do. Yeah,
It's always the most awful thoughts, isn't it?
they are.
I
they
mean,
are.
speaking of that, I've had awful thoughts. You know, like when my kids are in arguments with other kids, I like, maybe I should just go up and uppercut that other kid.
Yeah, just fucking kick its head off.
Because I would kick that
What's it
kid's
gonna do?
head in. That kid would not stand a chance. I'm like a god compared to that kid. I would drop kick the fuck out of that kid. Should we get them Stig? You want to beat other kids up?
Beat up, what, my own kids?
No, other kids.
Oh, right, I was going to say, sorry. Just tuned out for a second.
His
It's
own
like-
kids, yeah, obviously.
Imagine if he answered that.
Sometimes
yeah, every
when
day.
you're like, being nasty to your own kids, you just want to be like, just want to fucking go and tell them.
Kick fuck out of them.
But you can't, can you? You can't be the adult
I
that
don't
goes and
beat
beats
them
up a
but I
kid.
just want
No,
to
Because then you've lost.
they go to prison.
Say something to them. Yeah.
I always check out the dads and like, if I could take the dad, is this a lesson learned? Would they learn the lesson if I braid their dad in this school playground? Or would I get banned from school runs?
No, unfortunately, I had to teach Amelia to do the right thing when this lad was being a dickhead
Kick
to
fuck
her.
out of her.
Well, firstly, I said punch him. And I said,
Yeah, punch
she, oh, okay, I said, we'll go tell the teacher. So she did tell the teacher and sorted it out. But she was like, I didn't really want to.
My son had
She
a,
said she didn't
had
want to be a
girl
grass.
bully, and my son had a girl bully, and now they're boyfriend and girlfriend, so that's why she was bullying him.
Yeah.
That'd be it.
Typical one.
Oh, chase me.
Yeah.
Someone I work with, she
Here we
said
go.
she
Picking other babies.
almost got she almost got expelled from school when she was younger because she was being bullied by somebody at school, and her granddad told her to go and punch the kids, so she did.
Yeah. Too fucking right. They used to do it back
She
in my
she
day.
had to reveal that her granddad had told her to do it.
This one lad.
Thing is, if I had a kid and I told them to punch somebody and they did, I wouldn't be like, if they got expelled, I wouldn't be that mad. I'd be like, well, it sounds like
if
they
the teacher
deserved
come
it.
to me and was just like, yeah, like they punched him, I'm like, yeah, and they were bullying him and they've been physical themselves. So
bullying
yeah.
him. You should have stopped that in first
But
place.
back to doing my
Yeah.
friend.
Intrusive thoughts.
Once when we're at kids play, his daughter was being pushed around by another kid who's at least 3 years older than her, and he kept barging into her and he made her cry. And he said he was stood there waiting for her at the bottom of the big slide, and he saw this kid run round, and he ran in front of him, and as he ran in front of him, he just stuck his leg out and tripped him up
Good.
and hurt this other kid, and he just looked at him and went, "That'll teach you for bullying like little girls."
No,
I've just realised I have a recurring intrusive thought that we'll round it off with that. There's a lad I hate at work, and I can't stand it. I can't stand his face. I can't
What's his
stand
name?
his smell. I'm not naming him. But I know he's got a really, 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 really like lethal peanut allergy, and I feel like having a Snicker and giving him a kiss. Kill the fucker.
So murder then,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, murder basically. But I'd be like, I didn't know. You did know. You've got his files.
No, my intrusive thoughts aren't that bad. My worst one was when we were on holiday and I was at a balcony really high up, and I looked down. I was like, "Can I jump into that swimming
I
pool?"
could jump.
That's it. It's the jumping ones for me
I
as
thought
well.
you
Like
meant, you meant
any
you
kind
look,
of
looking
height.
down, going, "I'm hench. I could land this. I can super."
I was like, I
land
wonder if you
this."
could jump into that swimming pool. And then I just had this weird feeling, so I stepped away from it. So I'm
That's
not
it,
going to
you
do
have to
it.
then, like, hold on
there's
to
no
something, don't you?
thoughts there. It was just I was looking at the swimming pool, like, can I jump into that from here?
Do you never think about just jumping in front of a train? I do all the time. Every fucking
I get
day.
really horrible ones like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Or what if I smack this Uber driver in the head right now? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do?
No.
Honestly, if I just go bang.
No.
Oh, right. I've got psychosis. But thanks again. If you're not a patron, this is the end of this show. If you do have intrusive thoughts, why not intrusively pay a patron? Because you'd be able to join us in the green room. But for everyone else, bye.
Hello?
She's complaining she's got a bad headache.
Say again?
She's saying she's got a bad headache.
Who, Faith?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's coming to me.
Oh, yeah, she's just come back with Janet. Janet knows.
Oh, does she? Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, okay, I've got to go and record
Hey,
it.
she could take half an aspirin or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.